Hello everyone, and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. Sorry for the slightly delayed start. I also forgot to change the bitrate today, but that's not such an important thing. So yeah, just man, beets just take forever to cook in the oven. It took 2 hours to cook them in the oven, which yeah, I just for some reason thought would be sooner. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to uh, be ready just in time. So sorry about that for the slightly delayed start. All right, let's get rid of all this stuff. So we're going to do the scenario again, and we're going to try it on, as I said, just +2 difficulty rather than +3. So we need that door. Foolish to have deleted a door. Oh, and I got to turn on my chat. Hold on. And yeah, I'm not sure if I already said it, but thank you, Christopher, for the reminder. Seeing it there is actually what made me think to do it. All right. So that's good. So we've got what in the first room? Did we delete any enemies? He did delete some enemies. Fine. It's annoying. So I've got to get all these things. Oh, actually, I didn't delete an Earth Demon, I think. I just deleted the other things. I don't know why I deleted them. I guess I thought I wouldn't be doing this scenario again or something. I'm not really sure. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Not everything I do makes sense, if we're being perfectly honest. All right. So we established yesterday that we're going for Cursnado, so we're not doing any enhancements here. We don't have money for enhancement there. We do have 61 here, so we need to actually take a look at the brute stuff. But let's do a city event first, no matter what. So we need to turn this off. Okay, that's fine. Nice little bonus. We do still like prosperity, so we don't mind having gotten that. So we gain 1 prosperity, and 5 experience each. Which is a small thing, but you know. I mean, you're getting 5 experience each from a city event. It's not a feels bad man because it's not expected necessarily to get anything. Beating a scenario and getting 5 experience each, that's a feels bad man. All right. So let's see. We need to look at brute enhancements. Problem is, do we want to do a cheap enhancement? We got 61 gold now. But we're quite far from Prosperity 3, right? We still need 3 more Prosperity to get to Prosperity 3. Yeah, that's going to be a while, I think. I mean, it's not going to be that long, actually. Did we remember to get our Prosperity after the last thing we completed? No, it wasn't actually Prosperity, was it? No. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, there are no special rules here that we need to remember. So let's see. What are the enhancements that we would consider doing for the brute? Definitely nothing on trample, like her we'll get rid of soon. Skewer is interesting. That's a possibility, I suppose. Fatal Advance we already have enhanced. Hook and Chain. No, there's just no way we're enhancing this. The bottom can't be enhanced, and the top, it's just better to enhance Spare Dagger. Spare Dagger is honestly just a better action, 90% of the time than the top anyway. Unstoppable Charge, way too expensive for us to enhance right now, but I guess it is a consideration. I know in my solo play I put +1 attack on this, I was pretty happy with it. Good afternoon, Isio. Are you doing well today? Oops. Leaping Cleave is definitely a consideration, as we've talked about. Balance Measure we can't, so this kind of holds off in a while. Provoking Aurora is interesting. At some point, we do kind of want to get rid of Provoking Aurora, though. And then Spare Dagger is interesting. Warning Strength is definitely a no-no. So there's really these 4 cards, which are our choices for enhancement. So again, it's the bottom of Leaping Cleave is +1 move. Top of Skewer, it's 100 gold to add 1 hex, or pretty expensive to add anything to the actual attack. We could just add +1 to the actual attack. How good would that be? I think I'd prefer wound. We don't actually have other sources of wound, nor will we have any other sources of wound anytime soon. Our other party members don't really wound at all. The Spellweaver doesn't have natural wound. The Cragheart doesn't have natural wound. The Cragheart's going for dirt or Cursnado, so that's going to be a big gold enhancement, so we won't have wound on other cards anytime soon. And the Spellweaver is going for much more relevant enhancements as well. So wound could actually be quite good here. There'd be 150 gold, so we're quite far from that. Here against just the bottom. here it would be wound as well. This is similar to putting stun, but it's just not near as good because you can't use it on summoning enemies, which are some of the most threatening enemies in the game. And then here, the bottom attack, pretty much the only thing you ever really want to put on that is disarm, which does make the bottom obviously very, very good. And the top can be a variety of things. I think even just +1 attack or wound, both of these are also quite good. So I guess the problem, like I said, with enhancing the bottom leaping cleave is that we do a cheap enhancement and we've got a bunch of gold just sitting around. So I don't think it should ever be that. I don't think it should be provoking more either because that card just doesn't scale as well. Later on, you end up using it as a move 2 10 initiative more often. I think it should always be one of these, and whatever it's going to be on one of these, it's going to be one that costs more than 61 gold. So yeah, I think that clears that up pretty well for us. All right, so I'm just going to start fanning out the deck. We're just doing no enhancement right now then. We're going to do the scenario. We've got to do the road event, but let's do this. Ooh, and we're not going to forget battle goals this time either. So we are good at this. We are very, very good at remembering battle goals. Some might say we are the best at it. The best there could ever be at remembering battle goals. It's really not at completing battle goals. Whether they're remembered or not, the Spellweaver is still never getting a check mark. It's so funny. This has become a joke in this party, but at the same time, the Spellweaver is really the one that wants them the most. She's by far the best modifier deck of any of these three classes. Which is not to say that she has an excellent modifier deck. Her modifier deck is above out. Well, actually, I would say it's around pretty average. Cragheart has a very bad modifier deck, one of the worst in the game for sure. And the Brutes is slightly below average. I guess hers is around average, maybe like average plus. All right. Yeah, I think the cards we brought last time were fine. Ultimately, I don't think it was our card decisions. We got just kind of beat up, maybe a little bit because of the difficulty level, and maybe a little bit because we tilted after re-rolling and a reviving ether. It's tough to say. Tough to say. We'll never know. I did hit record. Thank you very much, Christopher. I appreciate it. Let me just refresh here, make sure this is working. Okay. Yep, we are recording. So thank you. I really do appreciate the reminder. Okay. So what to do now? Road event and then battle goals. All right, let's do it. Yeah. Really? Oh god. Do we? This party is cursed. So we each lost one check mark. Okay, well, never mind. No one has any check marks to lose. Oh my god. I don't think I have ever in my enormous history playing Gloomhaven seen a party with this little luck getting, I mean, I guess it's this little ability. A lot of the times it's my fault as well. I think playing 3-player, it is really quite difficult for me to track all the battle goals. When I play like just one person by myself, it's obviously a lot different because you're really focused on your own battle goal. But I've never seen a party that's gotten this few battle goals. Oh, slash check marks. We actually lost. All right. Well, take care. Good luck at work. Enjoy the VOD. Hope to see you again soon. All right. Speaking of the aforementioned battle goals, let's do it. Brute. Kill an undamaged monster with single attack. Take only long rest. Undamaged monster with single attack. Pretty reasonable to expect because we can do a balanced measure and one-shot a flame demon, especially since they're going down in difficulty. But the only thing that sucks about going down to +2 is the coins will now only be worth 3 rather than 4. User items, a number. Oh my god, really? That's so easy. Right? So it's level +2, so 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, even if we just use every single thing once, that's already 6. Yeah, the easiest one for most classes. It would be more difficult for the Spellweaver, I guess. She would actually need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd have to do 2 long rests. Yeah, that wouldn't be so easy. All right, and Spellweaver. Kill 5 or more monsters or gain 13 or more experience. Neither of these are very granted. 13 experience is a lot. Spellweaver can certainly gain experience, but her experience gain goes down as soon as she gets rid of Impaling Eruption. Obviously, we can still switch our cards around, but I'm not sure we want to. On the other hand, killing 5 or more monsters, both of these are really close, right? Both of them are ones that are certainly doable, but it's not sure which one's more likely or if we'll get them done, you know? And both are very difficult to control. It's not like opening a door or something like that, or stepping into a trap where we can just say, okay, we will do this or we won't do this. Here, it's kind of more of a collective decision over the course of the scenario. How much XP gain do we have? Let's take a look at our cards real quick. We can chart this, right? So, fire orbs twice per scenario, presumably, hopefully, should be 6 experience. Obviously, there is a risk that, because we probably don't use this in the first room, so we do have to not lose it before the second room, which again, is never given. But still, let's try to assume that. So that's 6. We never use the top of Mana Bolt anymore. We do use the top of Frost Armor. We can say maybe like twice, so it's 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I mean, really, the 10 to 12 seems like the range that we're most likely to hit in experience. So we would need to use basically the tops of these, because this, yeah, I mean, this probably doesn't get used. Top of Mana Bolt very, very rarely gets used. Could occasionally. But I mean, basically, we would need to use the tops of these 3 cards 7 times with Element. I think that's less likely than killing 5 enemies, to be perfectly honest. The thing is, we can buffer, or we can, pad this stat pretty easily in the room where we end up using the Piercing Bow on some Flame Demons. That should give us 2 to 3 of this outright. At the same time, it's not easy for us to finish the rest of these enemies. Man, I don't know. This is a tough call. Anyone in chat have an idea? Which would you take? If anyone, there aren't many people here yet, but I'm just curious. I'm so split. Because this seems more controllable, although it's still difficult. This one is less controllable. I think I'm leaning towards Sadist, though. I think it's maybe more likely. I'm really not sure, though. I mean, I guess if we're counting on using Fire Orbs twice, now, but we can only use Piercing Bow once, so one of the Fire Orbs isn't killing a bunch of enemies. I still think I'm going to take Sadist. We did gain... Yes, we're doing +2 difficulty, correct. We're stepping it down a notch. Again, this is not because I think that we couldn't beat +3 difficulty on this scenario. I think we could. It's simply because this is kind of the bargain, I mean, the rule we've set for ourselves. Not gonna get any. Touche, Warlord. Well played. Coming in just in time. Provide some sage advice. Alright, so 3 and 3. This is so much easier. Yeah, these we kill so easily with Fire Orbs. Although only with Piercing Bow once. But yeah, so like I said, I do believe we could beat this scenario on +3, but the reason why we're not going to try is simply because we don't want to spend too much of the stream just stuck on the same scenarios. Even though, I mean, everyone said that it's fine to repeat scenarios, I don't want to repeatedly repeat scenarios. So we fail a scenario once, we go down 1 in difficulty. I think this is just a general rule that I think is good to apply in Gloomhaven, while playing Gloomhaven in general. All right. So, how to start? Similar stuff to last time, right? We want tuck, tuck, tuck. Yes. So we had like her here because she ended up getting trapped in or something, and then him here. All right. So same plan as before. Yes, there. Oh yeah. So our plan was also to consume the. Yes. Yeah, I remember. So that we don't run that risk of the. The Earth Demon has one really scary thing they can do with Earth, which is the range 4 2-target attack. If they, I mean, it's range 4 attack normally, and if they consume Earth, they get an extra target, which is a lot of damage. So we definitely want to consume the Earth that we're going to end up creating with Rock Slide. Rock or Earth is almost as much of a liability as anything against these fellas. So last time I believe we used Elemental Aid the first turn. Didn't end up working out, but it can certainly, because there's a decent chance that both of them will attack the Brute. Or the Cragheart, right? Yeah, because the Cragheart's in front. Yeah, we use it on the Cragheart. Because the Brute actually wants to go late. That was what we did last time as well, right? We moved a bunch. Made a big attack to finish one of them off. I think so. Do we need to use the jump? We should use the jump, I guess, just to be careful. think this is similar to what we did last time. I mean, our start was good last time. The first room went fine. It was just the second room where we really got crushed. Yeah, again, the issue is that there are a lot of things the Flame Demons can do that are before 20, so there's a chance that the shield does nothing, but it didn't really matter so much that we didn't get the shield in the beginning anyway last time. I think it's fine either way. It's an upside if we can, but if not, I mean, just the move is fine. All right. Yeah, I think this works overall. Seems like a good plan. It was good enough last time. Oops. Was there anything else I forgot this time? I don't think so. Do I regret not bringing sentient growth after the last time? I think not. Thank you, Nomo. Sorry, just thanking my fiance. Stem. Who just brought me coffee. The best. Okay, let's get going. Ooh, there it is, huh? Ugh. Punished for not bringing sentient growth immediately. Alright, let's try to... I guess no, we never kill them, even one of them before they go. Yeah, well, the shield is going to block most of their attacks, at least, since their attack is just for a 1, but unfortunately they get the wound anyway. This is pretty annoying. Alright, well, anyway, let's get going. 1 XP, create Earth, and do some rock dropping. Ah, we're stupid. We are stupid. Yeah, I was so focused on just recreating what I did last time, although it did work well, so I think it's fine. We could have just played Rumbling Advance plus Rock Slide, and then we would have actually been able to just kill both of them, because they have 3 health this time, not 4. We could have gone, like, Rumbling Advance to here, and, like, Rock, 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 whatever. And this would have actually just killed outright both the Flame Demons. The problem is we wouldn't guaranteed go before them, but we'd still be killing both of them. Yeah, we should have done this. This is stupid. It's just that I didn't readapt to the fact that they have 3 HP rather than 4. Last time they had 4 HP, so it wasn't possible for us to do this the first turn. But here, since they have only 3 HP, we could have just killed them with a Rock Slide plus Rumbling Advance combo. Would have been better. Would mean that the Earth Demon is hitting, although he got +1 move anyway, so he's going to hit no matter what. +1 move is pretty annoying. Do we go before him? 79. So he goes last. So we can maybe create a method for him not to hit anyone. Spellweaver doesn't move much though, huh? Well, let's have a look. So he's got 3 movement now. No, I guess he's always hitting someone. Ugh. Yeah, we really messed this up. Alright. Well, let's just do the darn thing, right? Not two, but let's do it. So we should pretty much always drop 1 rock here. This is a very valuable rock. I guess it does damage to all of them. Well, I guess we don't need to, because it also blocks our path going there. What is the best way to try to mess with him? I guess we definitely don't want him touching the Spellweaver. But if we move up, he's always going to hit us anyway. Trying to think. Hold on, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee while looking at this. No, like I said, the thing is that the brute has to move up to kill one of the flame demons, presumably. Do we even need the brute to hit the flame demon? I guess the brute could also just hit the earth demon rather than the flame demon, because the flame demons will both die to rumbling advance next turn anyway. We are going to get back unstable people. We're not going to make that mistake, and then we can just rumble on over. Yeah, so where should we place the rocks then? It just doesn't matter much. See where the flame demons are going to go, so we don't have a coin on top of a rock. They have 4 range, so they have range to hit any. I mean, what this one gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, both of them are going to hit these 2 targets, no matter what. So yeah, it changes nothing. They're just going to stay where they are. All right. Well, then let's just place rocks which are not too much in the way. Where should the last rock go? I guess just down here is kind of also out of the way. At the same time, having some rocks in the center can be useful for heaving swing, but I don't think we need to go that far. All right, so this way we get damage on all of them. Rock Slide's a totally reasonable card. We want them to stay next to each other, so Rumbling Advance kills both of them. Do we want this to stay where it is? Is it advantageous for us to move up? Yeah, I guess the staying where it is probably good for us. We don't want to move further up because then this will try to move away to lose disadvantage. But I think just going here is probably better than staying one further back. I don't think it's going to change anything. We're not going to play with rocks between him and ourselves. All right, and then we're going to use one charge of Hamina Potion and get back Unstable Upheaval, which we should pretty much always do on the first turn when we use Unstable Upheaval. Okay, so next up we've got the Spellweaver. So Spellweaver is going to consume. Do we want the Earth going forward? No, we don't care about having the Earth next turn. Yep, going to consume the Earth, gain 1 experience, do an attack 3, range 3, targeting the Earth Demon. We could try to kill one of them, but we'd still have to get lucky. It's just not worth it. There's not a huge downside if we just move up and try to kill one of them, because we'll be outside the retaliate range, but our modifier deck just isn't that good yet. Could use the goggles. Could use the goggles, but killing one of them doesn't really change much. Again, their attacks are for 1 here, and all of them on the Cragheart are going to be shielded off pretty much anyway, no matter what anyway. So it's really like 2 damage we take from the attacks. The more annoying part of the attacks is the wound, but whether one of them attacks or 2 of them attacks, wound doesn't stack, so it doesn't really change anything. So yeah, I think it's better just to attack the Earth Demon. So we'll make an attack 3 on the Earth Demon with the top of Frost Armor. We'll hold off on using the goggles for a more significant attack. Wow, that's nice. The annoying thing is, well, I mean, all right, I'm not going to complain. So typically when we get this, we do need to try to do a better job of remembering to immediately mana potion a fire. But first of all, the fire would actually get consumed by the flame demons. And second of all, we don't necessarily even want cold fire next turn no matter what. I mean, regardless, because the demons should die. All right, and then we'll use the bottom of Elemental Aid to give shield to the Cragheart. All right, now the flame demons go. Like I said, both of them are going to attack the Cragheart and the Spellweaver. We're going to get wounds on both of ourselves no matter what. It's tough to copy paste them. So it's attack 1 each time because it's -2 on a 3. So Cragheart, Spellweaver, Cragheart, Spellweaver. No damage, no damage, no damage. That's crazy. I mean, I can't complain because it's getting reshuffled anyway. But, all right, so we take 2. But what's crazy there is literally both of the attacks. I mean, we gave the Cragheart shield 2. This is just to reemphasize how unhelpful the bottom of Elemental Aid has been. Each of those ended up being an attack 0 on the Cragheart, despite the fact that he had shield 2. Oh gosh, this is funny. Not much else to say about that. All right, let's have another sip of coffee and consider this move for the Zabrut. Like I said, I think we want to hit the Earth Demon for 6 here. Since the... Oh no! Oh no! The Cragheart actually won't be able to Rumbling Advance the the Flame Demons because he won't be able to move. He'll be immobilized. We shouldn't have moved up with him. We should have stayed back so that then the Brute would be the one who gets immobilized next to the Earth Demon. This was a mistake. At the same time, we kind of wanted him to take the attack since we're going to Elemental Aid him. I guess could Elemental Aid the Brute, but then we wouldn't have had it for those 2 attack 1s. Admittedly, we didn't know that. If we could have known that those would all be attack 0s, we could have done things differently. No, I guess our line made sense. All right, I mean, this is not that big of a deal. The Brute can just kill both the Flame Demons. It's just not going to be quite as efficient. So we have another interesting question. I think we'll probably want a long rest after this room, though. The question we have is whether we should use our boots or not to add +2. Right now the attack is going to be an attack 4 against something with 1 health and 3 shield, so theoretically it should kill, but again, if we use the boots, then our attack kills with everything except a miss, whereas if we don't use the boots, we have 2 -1s and a -2 that we can also flip. Yeah, just a normal Earth Demon. So I said Salthrog? Oh, you're right. Good catch. It doesn't immobilize on this. Ah, good catch. Yeah, again, just used to playing on 5, because last time the regular had immobilize, but here the regular does not have immobilize. Thank you, ECO. Yeah, they don't have immobilize this level, you're right. Ah, you're just working on getting a gifted sub every month. Thank you, I appreciate it. Alright, so in that case, we can continue with our original plan, because then the Cragheart will be able to go here and kill both of them with Rumbling Advance. So let's go ahead and Brood it up. In this case, we'll definitely use the boots to get some extra damage on the Flame Demon. We do have the axe. We could consider going here and axing both of them, but it's just not worth it since the Cragheart can kill both of them with just a move anyway. So we do move 6 jump. Where exactly do we want to go? That's a good question. Probably here is fine. Closer to the door is just better. The Cragheart can still move to there easily next turn. I guess no, because then we take damage from Rumbling Advance. We don't necessarily want that. I mean, 1 damage doesn't matter so much, but I don't think being 1 close to the door is worth taking a damage here. I don't think it's going to matter that much. Probably going to end up picking up coins anyway. Okay, so that was a move 6. I mean, again, we just kind of moved around the room. It doesn't matter how we move. We had a move 6 jump because we had 4 jump plus the boots. Having jump on Fatal Advance is nice, although it didn't actually matter here. 1 experience, and we do an attack 6 on the Earth Demon. Alright, +0, that's fine. He's down to 2. Okay, and we're done. Then the Earth Demon goes. So the Earth Demon is already adjacent to the Cragheart, makes an attack 4 on the Cragheart. So 3, the Cragheart has 2 shield from Elemental Aid, so it takes 1. Alright, well, in the end, it ended up being essentially a heal 2. It's okay. A bottom heal 2, which doesn't have to be adjacent. Yeah, Elemental Aid has not been on a terrible card in this party, that's for sure. I am looking forward to revising my... Well, I mean, I actually think I did recommend... I mean, I did consider this fork in the original guide, but I'd like to be a little bit more detailed about it when I redo that guide. A lot of guides to do. Next thing is going to be Lightning Bolt, though. I've had a lot of questions about that one. All right. So we have a question here for the Cragheart's play. We're always playing Rumbling Advance. We have 2 options. We can play the top of Nature's Lift here, which means we have to use Rumbling Advance for initiative, but this allows us to heal the wound off of ourself and the Spellweaver so that we don't take a bunch of additional wound damage. Otherwise, alternatively, we can play Unstable Upheaval as a top, basically just as a throwaway, but giving us 13 initiative rather than 29, which makes it much more likely we kill the Flame Demons before they go. Fortunately, I'm not that familiar with Flame Demon initiative. I should be. So they have an 8, which we can't beat anyway, or an 8 or a 9. They have like a 3 or a 4 as well, which we also can't beat. After that, I just don't know if they have any initiatives between 13 and 29. This is an important thing to learn. Because we'll always play the 2 target heal next turn no matter what with Nature's Lift. So essentially just doing it 1 turn earlier essentially gives us 2 extra life. 1 from each of our wounds. Spellweaver can also remove. Is that what the Spellweaver should be doing? Spellweaver can heal herself actually. And finish off the Earth Demon. Yeah, that makes it pretty clear then. I think we'll just go for initiative. The point is, if the difference between 13 and 29 initiative is the Flame Demons going, the Flame Demons attack for 3, so that'd be 6 damage that we would take to try to save 2. Now, admittedly, this is really dependent on whether they have initiative between 13 and 29. If they don't, then this is a stupid move, but because I'm not so familiar with it, this is ultimately the choice I have to make. And like I said, it's helped a bit by the fact that Spellweaver can actually use Mana Bolt here to heal herself, to just remove her wound anyway. So then there's only just the 1 wound to worry about. On top of that, Mana Bolt here is actually nice because we can just stay where we are, and we can Cold Fire these 2, stunning both of them. Making it so that even if they go... but no, because then there's still the other one. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. All right. And so what is the Brute doing? A very reasonable question. The Brute is a Brute. He does not have much in the way of support actions, huh? Well, we also similarly probably just want to go as early as possible. We don't have Wind, so Skewer's not great. I guess just Unstoppable Charge. This gives us the possibility if we need to... Well, no, we can never actually kill one of them with that, right? Because we can never reach them with a move 2. None of our actions really matter too much here. We basically probably just need to kill the Earth Demon ourselves, but using Provoking Roar is safe, both because by going at 10, we've got some more flexibility to see what the enemies are doing and potentially react, although it doesn't really seem like we can react because if we have to use this as a move 2, we can't actually reach any of the Flame Demons because we put ourselves over here. No, that's not true. We can actually reach this one. Then we'll take 1 damage from Rumbling Advance. That's not that big of a deal. All right, so let's just go with... Yeah, let's go with this then. This functions the same as... but I guess this is worse this is better when we get to the next room. This functions the same as Trample if we end up attacking a Flame Demon, except it also gives us 1 experience. The experience doesn't matter so much to us, but it's a nice bonus. But if we attack the Earth Demon, obviously this is better than Trample. Against the Earth Demon, Trample will be an attack 3, which means the only difference really would be a -2, which we only have one -2 in our deck. Plus, theoretically, we should get 1 on the Earth Demon anyway from Cold Fire, unless the Spellweaver drives a -1. So the only way that we would want to kill the Earth Demon and we would regret having Trample instead of Unstoppable Charge would be if the Spellweaver gets a -1 and then we get specifically a -2. That's way too specific, I think. Given that the Spellweaver has one -1 and we have one -2, I don't think there's any reason to play around that. And then this way, if we do end up having to attack a Flame Demon instead of attacking the Earth Demon here, we get to use an attack which is better against which is the same against the Flame Demon while saving us a better attack for later. Yeah, I think overall this is the best play. 24. All right, so there was between 13 and 29. What could go wrong? Indeed. And the Earth Demon's just going to be healing himself anyway. Downside is this means we can't actually Provoking Roar to stop him from his action. He's wise to our tricks. Oops, accidentally hit spacebar while taking a sip there. Okay. Spellweaver's first. Yeah. Well, she takes 1 damage from her wound. Then she's going to heal herself for 3 with the bottom of Mana Bolt. Getting rid of her wound. This is interesting now. Because the Flame Demons go after the Cragheart, so the significance of the stun was pretty much just that I know it's gonna be stun, not just. But anyway, the significance of the stun on the Flame Demon was just if they were gonna go before between 7 and 13, which they do have an 8 or a 9, so there was a possibility of this. But in the end, we know for sure 100% Rumbling Advance will kill both of them, so we don't need actually to stun them. But this also stuns the Flame Demon. We honestly just have nothing else to do here anyway. We wanted to heal ourselves to remove the wound this turn, just so we didn't take 1 more damage. All right, sure, why not? We'll consume the ice. We'll make an attack with Cold Fire, targeting the Earth Demon and the Flame Demon, 2 and 2 in that order. Okay, 1 damage to the Earth Demon, and no damage to the Flame Demon. Earth Demon goes down to 1. He does get stunned, but I'll only worry about that if the Brute fails to kill him. Okay, so the Brute's up. So we'll attack the Earth Demon with Trample. Better to use Trample than Provoking Roar. He's actually stunned. All right, well, let's just place it, just to be thorough. So this and this are both stunned, just so everyone understands what I'm talking about here. So he is stunned, so we don't need to Provoking Roar him, and Trample does protect us from getting a -2 as well, because we make an attack 3. So we use Trample as an attack 3, targeting the Earth Demon. Don't really want our +2 there, but so be it. What do we have for battle goals again? Items used. We actually get one of those because we used 1 Hammer Potion. It's the 1-shot, and she needs to kill things. Ah, yes, beautiful. So this way we didn't actually kill anything on her. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, if you're playing just one character, here's the Spellweaver, you're probably, instead of playing the top of Cold Fire, you'd just play, the top of Flashing Burst or something, just to make sure that you kill that Flame Demon, or the Earth Demon, and get 1 check mark. Whereas here playing as 3, I don't pay attention to that as much as I should. All right, then we're gonna use the bottom of Trample to move, and I don't really want to take 1 damage. At the same time, 1 damage doesn't actually matter at full, and the Cragheart has to use the top of Nature's Lift to heal. Well, it doesn't have to, but probably will because it wants to remove this. But we want money the least of anyone in the party, but we'll still take it. God, the Brute is so greedy. So now the Cragheart goes. We're going to do nothing with the top of Unstable Upheaval. With the bottom of Rumbling Advance, however, we're going to do a move 2, which does 1 damage to everything adjacent. We also take 1 from our wound, which I'll deal with in a second. So both of these die. Which gives us some coins. And the Brute takes 1. Did we... No, we did not take our 1 from our wound. Okay, and all the enemies are eliminated. First room was quite easy. Sip. Okay, so we have no support things left here. We don't really have any support things left here. We do have some coins to pick up, but that's not really on your Brute. Should we enter the next room this turn, or should we wait 1 turn? I think we should wait 1 turn. So let's do Earthing Clod actually instead of Nature's Lift. I guess then we do regret a little bit maybe missing that one life. Oh well. And actually set up backup ammo. It sucks to use backup ammo at 11 as usual because we're going to lose an extra turn, but I mean, the second room is where we got pummeled last time, and I think I would really like to actually have Massive Boulder ready for the second room. Same time, is that going to be too painful then not to have Massive Boulder for the third room? I mean, not to have a backup ammo, sorry, for the third room? Because we almost inevitably end up using all our range charges is the problem. Otherwise, yeah, all right. I've convinced myself out of that. So let's actually just do double of this. Um, by using Earth and Clod instead of moving, we're essentially going. I guess I would rather move. We'll always have an opportunity to use Earth and Clod. This bottom is good. So let's just pick up a coin. Dirt Tornado is pretty bad against a lot of these enemies. Is that bad? Probably. Spellweaver needs to move up to a coin as well. This coin or this coin, one or the other. Either way, move 4 does it. Probably save fire orbs for next turn when we go into the next room. Yeah, I think this is a good plan. All right, let's do like this then. Getting rid of Flame Strike, because this just allows me to keep a big move and then our fire orbs attack for the following turn. So this way we grab all the coins. What does the Brute do? Well, the Brute is actually pretty set up here as well. We can actually use Warding Strength. We've already established from the last time we played the scenario that we won't actually be able to push anything into the trap, so the push doesn't really matter so much, and honestly, having 6 more shield could be quite relevant to this room. This room was tough last time, and being at 10 cards is kind of an ideal time to play a loss. I think it's quite alright. Okay, so what are we looking at that we want to have in this next room? Well, we kind of want to have, I mean, this and this, right? This is an attack 5, this is a move 4. So those are quite flexible and should almost always be things to keep. So it really just comes down to which one of these we're not going to use. I guess it's probably Skewer, to be perfectly honest. We'll probably use maybe something like this in conjunction with this, or even this in conjunction with this, and then this in conjunction with this. And yeah, that actually works pretty well. If we try to do something like this to begin, and then follow with this, this allows us to, this gives us not great initiative, but honestly we can't do much better. This would allow us to then have Skewer the following turn after the short rest. Otherwise, how's the other way to set it up? We create the wind the turn we go in and use like this. And the following turn we have this and this. Is that actually better though? And this is an attack 4 Pierce 1. The Pierce 1 is always relevant, so I guess that's basically as good as attack 5. This also gives us better initiatives for everything. We don't use our best attack though. And I guess theoretically we could use the turn we enter, something like this. But we don't have the boots, so move 3, We actually do remember where all the enemies are, but only vaguely. Is this the best way to do this then? Basically, the question is just which is better, Unstoppable Charge or Skewer? And it really just depends on enemy positioning. Well, no, I guess it really doesn't. How close are we to the door? Is move 3 enough? Yeah, it is certainly enough to attack something with the dagger. All right, well, let's just get rid of Unstoppable Charge then. It's kind of a awkward to play our highest level card as a throwaway, but so be it. I think this is actually the best line. So, who's up first? Just the Brute. We're going to activate Warding Strength. And then we've got the Spellweaver is going to do just a move 4 jump. We have more movement, so I think it's fine for us. Yeah. No, because we actually want to make sure we hit those flame demons, which are on the bottom. Being one closer to the door could actually be relevant here. Let's grab that coin using our move 4 jump. Top does nothing, and then the Cragheart is just going to lose 1 life, and then use Nature's Lift on himself as well as the Brute. So now he's just missing 1 health. That's not that big of a deal. And gets rid of his wound, and moves and picks up this coin. Okay. Ending the round. So time to bust it. Well, we kind of set up our plan then, which is this there. Do you want to lead with Massive Boulder? Probably. Don't really have better options. So this, we want to go after him. Ideally, I actually want to go as late as possible to get enemies to clump. So that plus this, I guess, to make sure we have enough movement. The Spellweaver also wants to go presumably later rather than earlier, so that she can run as far in as she wants and fire orbs a bunch of things. Hopefully after they've run up a bit. All right. With the later initiative. Yep. Looks like a plan. Let's go. 27. So we do a move 3 jump, creating wind for the brute. One, two. We got one more movement, but we first need to set up the root. And those are the traps the flame demons created last time. Yep, that's all the stuff in the room. We've got this elite flame sun demon who just destroyed us last turn. We've really got to be wary of this dude. He's actually got 5 attack again, even 1 level lower, but only 1 shield and 16 health, so certainly more killable, which has pretty much got to be the goal. Got 2 regular earth demons, the frontliners, there to gum up the works. Fortunately, they don't have immobilize now, so once they hit you once, they don't keep hitting you. Okay, and then we've got the 2 regular flame demons down in the bottom. These have 3 health each. Just gonna have my last sip of coffee. Okay. So, let's see what they're all up to, shall we? I guess this is something I should have considered, right? This is the downside of trying to count on an element combo to make our turn better, is that these stupid demons can consume it. Consume it next turn as well with any of these things. But fortunately he creates fire, so we've got a 50-50, so we're just going to end up doing a randomization to determine it. I think that's the fairest way. So normally I would go with his opposite, but he doesn't have an opposite here, and there's nothing else that affects him in any way, so it's just going to be between fire and air, random. I know we could choose, and therefore I would choose this, but we're not going to do that because that's not how we typically play these things. All right, well, hold on. The brute still has 1 move left, and then a ranged attack. So these have 2 movement each. Did they get minus move by chance? They do have minus move, minus 1 move. So that means they only have 1 movement. So we're incentivized not to move all the way up. It's a little bit unfortunate because oh god, they're going at 93. Yeah. So the Spellweaver is not going to be able to run in. I mean, everyone's going to have to be cautious of them, but it still makes sense to be cautious of them if we can. We would have liked to go here so we could hit the Sun Demon because the Sun Demon is simply more threatening, but in the end, then we would get pounded by both of these, which we don't really want. So we'll just attack one of the Earth Demons. All right, so we gain 1 experience. We do an attack 3, range 3. We'll target, I guess, the bottom Earth Demon, number 4. Okay, I have 2 damage. Well, we've only done 1 to the Sun Demon. So be it. Okay, so then we're done. So then the Flame Demons go, create fire, and move +1, attack -1. So 5 movement, 4 range, 2 attack. So 4 range, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yep. So then attack 2 on the brute, 3. Okay. I see you. Hold off on using the shield for now, I think, and just take 2. Probably end up using it for the second attack no matter what. Maybe not. All right, and then the other one goes 1, 2, 3. So yeah, here does not get it. No, so it needs to move up like this and attacks the brute. Okay, well, guess we won't be using the shield. That's fine. All right, then the Sun Demon goes. Like I said, we need to flip a coin. Let's give ourselves a coin. Objects, components, miscellaneous, quarter. All right, We'll say heads is fire, tails is air. Is it not fair to randomize? What should I do? Should I choose the one that's bad for me? I've never actually followed this logic before. Yeah, I understand. I get your point with that, but it's more difficult to describe. But as I've kind of tried to explain before, generally speaking, I try to have the monsters do what's best for them, right? But I don't have the monsters ever consider basically anything other than themselves, and then like the positioning of their allies and stuff like that to some extent in cases of ambiguity. So here, though, the monster has no personal consideration for ambiguity. I guess you could theoretically say that he considers thee as a flame demon ally, but I've never really taken it that far before, at least not to the best of my knowledge. This this far of a consideration has never been in line with this. But I guess if you believe that it's not fair to randomize, then I suppose I should. I guess because that's a fair argument of not wanting to have any unnecessary random elements. All right. My turn will be enormously worse. But the truth is, like, there are only really, in my opinion, two options here for me. Either I randomize or I use the wind. Using the fire just isn't an option, unfortunately. As I've explained before, if I was playing on +3, I might consider using the. I might consider using the fire because being a little bit more lenient is fair. I think when playing on a really push difficulty. But here we decrease the difficulty, so I wouldn't feel right about taking advantage of ambiguity, even though I know I'm allowed to. So the reason why I would want to use randomization here is simply because, yeah, I've never wanted to have to extend the. I've never wanted to have to extend the logic this far. The problem is, I've always been afraid, and I know this is a bit of a slippery slope argument, but for example, if I consider something like this, yeah, I get your point. Let's just delete the coin then. But like I said, thus far I've always kept my application of this pretty strict in the sense that it's easy to just have a monster think about itself, which both makes sense thematically to me and allows for some limitation. I guess I will use the win because you bring up a fair point that if I'm against randomness, I shouldn't try to add randomness. But basically, yeah, the only thing I don't like about this is it opens up an issue of how many things do the monsters consider then? So before, I've always drawn the line at the monsters consider just themselves, right? Just the things which are relevant to themselves. So a monster will consume its own opposite first. This makes sense. Otherwise, the consummation is ambiguous. But so like if the monster also considers what can affect other monsters, I mean, the truth here is though, like here he's consuming this element relevant relative to the flame demon because the fire can help the flame demon and the wind can theoretically hurt the earth demon. So that's the logic for this. But then like should monsters also consider what I play or should they just consider their allies? Like before having the monster just consider himself makes it easy. If I consider the other monsters, where do I stop basically? Do I also consider scenario effects? Like if there's constant damage, for example, or something. Um, should I consider that as well? So, because the argument for drawing a line then between considering the monsters and considering the players would be, well, the monsters are the monsters, they're on the side together, whereas the players are the players and they're. they're on the opposite side. But then, like, are scenario effects part of the monsters then? I mean, if there's, like, for example, a scenario where the altar pulses damage, should the monsters consider that? Because is that, like, part of their side? I think it's tricky. I guess Isaac is kind of laughing right now, saying, "You see, this is why you should just choose ambiguity in your favor, because when you try to apply these rules to yourself, it becomes much more and more difficult." All right, well, we'll say that the monster does consider the other monsters and considers these three the opposite elements for the three of them, rather than just considering the one element for himself. So he consumes the wind, creates light. He has an attack at range 3, which doesn't mean he needs to move up. Moves up to here, 1, 2, 3, and makes an attack 5 with advantage targeting that brute. Alright, so 5, 3 damage. So we move 4. Huh. It's silly not to have the brute move up in the end because now the Spellweaver has to move up. I guess we're just gonna have the Cragheart tank the Earth Demons then. He's got boots, so he can do it. He's got plenty of life. Because it can't be the Spellweaver getting pounded by both of them, but we could consider not fire orbsing here, but even if we want to hit anything in this room, we have to move past the door, no matter what. It should have been the brute moving up, I think. Should have considered how far these things would move up. Because basically where we want to go is here, because we want to hit these 3 enemies using goggles plus piercing bow, I think. Yeah, I think that's the correct play. It's fine for us to use piercing bow in this room, I think, because in the following room we'll set up backup ammo with the Cragheart, and we'll be able to use backup ammo plus massive boulder plus piercing bow to eliminate the flame demons in that room. So I think this is the room where we use piercing bow with the Spellweaver. All right, let's do it. Ah, yeah, I remember now. I was just thinking about this because I was like, yeah, I'm going to create fire anyway. So then this brings another question. If the monster considers the opposite elements for his allies, does the monster also consider which elements are going to get created later in the turn by allies' cards? So, like, for example, if let's say he can choose between 2 elements which are irrelevant to him normally, and then one of his allies is going to create one of those elements. Would he choose to consume the element that his ally is not going to create so that they would have both elements? Or would he choose to consume the element that his ally is going to create so there would only be one element rather than creating another element the players could potentially use? This is the sort of questions which get brought up, I think, when we start to look further. All right, so we move there using the bottom of Flashing Burst. There's no reason to use, we don't actually have Hamina potions. We're creating fire. We gain 3 experience for targeting 3 things with fire orbs. We're going to use the Eagle Eye Goggles. We're going to use the Piercing Bow. The question we have to ask ourselves is whether we're going to use the Minor Power Potion. I think the answer to this should be no. Minor Power Potion adds 1 damage here, but we don't actually need 1 damage because these things have 3 health, and theoretically we're doing 3 to them. We have advantaged attacks, so the only way we don't kill a Flame Demon is if we would literally have to get some combination of a -1, -2, and a miss. We have 1 -1, 1 -2, and 1 miss in our deck. So we'd have to draw 2 of those on the same attack, which is highly unlikely. I think accordingly it makes sense not to use the power potion here because it pretty much it gives us a guarantee against a very unlikely possibility um, and does 1 more damage here, which is not so significant. On top of that, if somehow we don't kill one of the flame demons, the Cragheart still has massive boulder, which can hit both of them to deal 1 damage anyway by splashing off the sun demon. Okay. So let's use fire orbs, hitting all 3 targets. We'll do order of 1, 5, 5. So flame demon, sun demon. So each one of these is an attack 3 with advantage, ignoring all shields. So flame demon 1, okay, flame demon 5, whew, and sun demon. Okay, well, it's the most significant thing. And we got 2 kills. And this is lost. And so then the Cragheart goes. Like I said, the Cragheart is going to have to tank here. Massive Boulder also not doing much, unfortunately. Yeah, I have to go between the two of them. That's pretty unfortunate. Oh my god, it's target all adjacent enemies. Oh, I hadn't even considered this. Ugh, crap. Well, it's too late now. This was a pretty painful flip, huh? We're gonna take a lot of damage here. We've killed 2 of the enemies in the room already. Is there any way we can stop this from happening? If we go here or here, we block one of them from hitting the Spellweaver as well, which is the best we can do, essentially. So we're going to use the bottom of backup ammo as move 3, plus we're going to use our Boots of Striding to get move 5 total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. It doesn't change too much which one we move next to, I think. Yeah, it's kind of the same. Alright, we'll just go here, I think. And we're going to use Massive Boulder to attack. Yeah, the push doesn't really change anything, right? So he will. Interesting. Hey, Rogue Mike. Welcome. Happy to have you joining us. And you enjoy playing the game, I assume, if you're watching it. So how does the push matter? Because should we use Massive Boulder then? So this one will push either here or here. What's funny, God, stupid ambiguity. If he pushes here, yeah, I mean, I guess I should just have him push there. Then, because if he pushed here, then this wouldn't be able to hit 2 targets. But if he pushes here, oh no, he'll never be able to hit 2 targets. The push actually always saves. Huh. Okay, yeah. So the Earth is very good. That's nice. All right. So we're gonna make an attack 3, creating Earth, range 3, targeting Sun Demon number 5. Satisfying co-op RPG I've played in a long time. For me, I think it would be the most satisfying co-op RPG I've ever played, board game wise at least. Like, you know, pure board game. All right. Attack 3, +1, tabletop game, I should say. So 3 damage here. We're attacking this first because this is just a higher priority to kill than the Earth Demons. Harder to kite, does more damage, etc. Okay, we're done. So then the Earth Demons attack. So, like I said, with 1 movement, this can't get somewhere to hit 2 targets. So, attack on the Cragheart. Attack at -1. So attack 3 on the Cragheart. So 3 damage. So you can push here or here. Neither one is really more advantageous. Either way, he pushes something to his ally. Oh, no, I know they don't try to act optimally. To be clear, this is pretty early in the campaign, but I've played around 200 scenarios at this point. I apply this myself, rather. So the point is actually that, so the way the game works is in the case, so for example, right here, we can use this as an example. This Earth Demon here gets to push the Cragheart 1. So he can push him here, or he can push him here. So this is actually a case of ambiguity. So in situations like this, the rules say that in case of ambiguities, the players choose. But I don't personally like to be able to take advantage of ambiguity. Like, I consider this to be a form of exploiting mechanics of the game in a way that I don't like them to be exploited. So, since I don't want to take advantage of it, I've always tried to apply the rules that the monsters do what's best for them rather than like me being able to take advantage of it. Fortunately here neither thing really changes anything, so this is a really weird ambiguity, right? If he pushes here, then he moves up here and hits that. If he pushes here, then he just hits him. Never can they hit two targets, so it doesn't actually change anything for them really. It just changes which target it hits. So in this case I would just try to get in the minds of the monsters. I don't know, it's difficult. Like it's actually better for them to hit the Spellweaver, I suppose, and push the Cragheart away, but at the same time one could argue that the Earth Demon would want to hit something next to the other Earth Demons since they don't move much, but I guess I'll just do what's worse for me here since it's pretty ambiguous in either way. Yes, exactly. I don't necessarily, as I was kind of just explaining before relating to this whole element thing, I don't typically try to do necessarily what's the worst for me. I try to do what makes the most sense for the AI when there's ambiguity. What, from their perspective, what makes the most sense. So an element table. So fire, earth, light. So an earth demon will choose to use light before dark. Just doing it in order. Yeah, all right. I think that's reasonable. So is that the order in which they're set up on the boardy thing? Fire, ice, wind, or wait. Yeah, the monster AI can be pretty confusing sometimes. ECO, what do you do? I maybe don't understand your table there completely. Fire to earth, light. Why is it set up that way? Well, or why did you set up the table that way? Because that doesn't seem to be the actual table. So I was just curious. Is there a mechanical reason for having put light? So fire, earth. Yeah, I was just curious. All right. So then the other Earth Demon moves up here, attacks the Spellweaver, attack -1, so an attack 3. So +1, so 4 damage. And that's that. Earth is consumed. Nothing else. I thought Earth and Wind were swapped. Maybe this. No, this has got to be scan. Hmm. All right. So let's get back to focusing here. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a great turn for the Brood anymore, but that's kind of okay. Our turn is still okay, so we'll just do what we can. All right, I'm happy to hear the explanation. Yeah, I think having a table would be good. I think this table is probably the most sensical, but I think ECO probably has some logic behind his setup there. So I'll see. And don't worry, I'm happy to have distractions. I just stream Gloomhaven, not tabletop as a whole. I I just want to stream something I'm good at, right? So I don't look like a complete idiot. So I stream Gloomhaven because I'm, like I said, pretty experienced with Gloomhaven. Whereas tabletop as a whole, I'm not. For example, I play Spirit Island occasionally on tabletop as well, but I'm not remotely that good. Yes. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I stream tabletop. I'm also, well, thank you. Also, I'm not sure, have you ever been to the Gloomhaven subreddit? Because if you have, you might know me from there. If not, I guess maybe if you spend more time on Board Game Geek or something like that, then potentially not. All right, let's see here. Well, we've got to do a short rest for the Spellweaver. There's no worth in which we're long resting when we've got an Earth Demon standing on top of us. So short rest. What do we really not want to lose? We did use Fire Orbs already, so it's not such a big deal. I mean, I guess ultimately we just don't want to draw Reviving Ether. That's pretty much the second best, because that's our best initiative. It's also a free heal, which is pretty valuable. Mm. Oh, okay, gotcha. So you do know. All right. Yeah, I hadn't streamed in the past. I just started streaming this summer. It was actually something I did while we were doing the celebration week, and people really enjoyed it. So I just decided to try to do it a little bit more. And I'm really enjoying it. It's fun to have the opportunity to play more Gloomhaven and to be challenged and draw a lot of nulls in front of everyone. As Corlard says, I have a defeat fetish. All right, so what can we do here that helps? We really want to kill the Sun Demon, but we're pretty far from that time being. So for tops and bottoms, we're pretty much looking at these two as tops and these two as bottoms for the Cragheart. I guess we can just do this now because we don't really have any need to move. And if we're going to do that, we can just go ahead and use Heaving Swing. Heaving Swing is just going to be an attack 3 here, which is ultimately pretty bad, but we're not close to creating obstacles again. We'd have to get Rock Slide back anyway before we could do that to actually get the 2 extra damage, and otherwise there are no obstacles to push things into. I guess... No, alright, never mind. Actually, if we push the Earth Demon into the coals, we do something... God, this sucks though because we really want to kill the Sun Demon before the Earth Demon. We're getting distracted, but this is also just so much more efficient. This turns our attack 3 into an attack 6. That's got to be the better play. And then we use the heal the following turn with a ranged attack. Plus, maybe they'll create Earth for us, and we can actually use a push with Crater as well. Alright. So let's see. So fire, ice, wind, earth, light, dark, for example, it would make both sun and light demons consume consistently more fire than ice. So ice would almost never be used. Ah, I understand. Okay. The only problem with there's a lot of logic to that. The only problem is we have to have that reference somewhere, otherwise it'll seem arbitrary to people when we do it. Whereas here it's at least evident. But yeah, I can actually try to put that down somewhere so that we at least, I mean, then we have a logic to follow. All right, let me just write this down over here. So, fire, earth, light, ice, wind, dark. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that looks good. Like I said, it's not killing the target we really want to kill, which is this, and might be why we lose the room, but or lose this scenario again. But it just the Earth Demon is still threatening, even if it's not as threatening, and it still has about the same. I mean, has the same amount of health, actually less theoretically, because the shield lacks the shield. Being able to do an attack 6 on it here effectively by using Heaving Swing and pushing it into this just gives us so much more effective damage. Because unfortunately, the Sun Demons fly, so the push just doesn't do anything against them. Hey, Purry. Better late than never. Welcome. So do we have elements to consume? We do have some elements to consume here. So we should actually probably use Frost Armor, and I think Elemental 8 actually looks pretty decent. Oops. That's not what we wanted to do there. Nice. Yeah, we played this map our last session too, but we lost. We are a little greedy. At the same time, we need to move though, because we can't actually keep this next to us unless no, because the brute won't deal with it. Yeah. So Elemental Aid seems nice because the Cragheart can theoretically tank some hits, but we'll actually end up going before the Cragheart, so we'll actually have aggro of 2 of the 3 things. So this ultimately still just doesn't get it done. So what we actually need to do is to move. So if we're moving, which move should we use? We have one of the elements for cold fire. We can theoretically get another. I guess it's better to just use this movement, and then we can just run away a little bit with this. So we're just going to do a top attack, presumably, I guess, targeting this Earth Demon. Since if the Cragheart's going to be focusing him, I guess we're going to be focusing him as well. And then running to someplace safe with our move 4 jump. And hoping that they don't all go before us and hammer us. Flame Demons are all dead, right? Yes. So at least we took care of that. Alright, let's go. They have such a brutal deck, the Sun Demons. We need to deal with this. Alright, well, we'll worry about that as the time comes. So, what's first? First is the Spellweaver. We're going to consume... The element really doesn't matter so much. That doesn't matter at all. We'll consume the light, just because we're pissed at them for consuming our wind. That's going to matter. Which gives us 1 experience, and we're doing attack 3, range 3 with the top of Frost Armor. And yeah, I mean, in the end, we're just going to try to kill the one enemy that we're focusing first, even though it's definitely not the target that we want to kill the most. So attack 3, targeting the lower of the 2 Earth Demons, so Earth Demon number 4. Plus 1. So 4 damage, putting him down to 9. Okay, and then we have a move 4 jump. So the Cragheart's going to have to move to here. Where can we move? Where can we move that we're safe? Because we are at 5 health, so we really don't want to. And we can't get attacked by the Sun Demon. Then we'll have to lose the card. That's too bad. What does the Brute do this turn as well? These are all the questions we have to ask. The Cragheart, we know exactly what he does. He does move to, gain 1 experience, gain retaliate. Moving to here pushes this into here. All right. So it would be fire, wind, light, ice, earth. Gotcha. Okay. So in that case, this will be here. We just need to see who. So that'll be 2 moves to here, but the Spellweaver still has the earliest initiative. So we always have to make sure that the Brute then ends up closer to this. But we don't want to give this a spot to hit multiple things either. Is that even possible? No, if the Cragheart goes here, it's basically never possible. I guess if this is here, no, it's just never possible. But, oh god, this Sun Demon, it's so bad. We can still go here and skewer both of them though. And our bottom move would even give us an additional attack. But then the Sun Demon is going to move here. Is there any way with the Cragheart going here that we can ever prevent this from attacking both targets? No, because if we run to any space up here, it'll always get 2 hits. Unless we have the Spellweaver go tank it, but that's definitely never the plan. Spellweaver's at 5 life. What can the Spellweaver do next turn? If we move away, will we have enough movement to come back in and attack? Yeah, we should. Nice. Yeah, the Sun Demon is a huge pain. The multi-target attacks are just so brutal. Attack 5 with advantage on 2 things. It's doing around 12 damage to the party. I'm not even sure we can survive 2 turns of that. Black Stun. I guess next turn we can Provoking Roar it. That's got to be the plan. So what if instead... No, but it just makes sense for the Brute to move to here. But then... Yeah, it'll go here. No, we can never move further into the room. It sucks because it would be nice to advance, but... Alright, so we actually just have to, like, move back to here. This is pretty much the only way we can be safe. We can't have the Spellweaver getting hits. Our allies still have more health than us, although they won't after the Sun Demon attacks. I mean, everyone's going to be at basically no health after this turn. Okay. So we move there with the bottom reviving ether. Do we? No, there's no point in Hammer pushing here. No, we don't have a Hammer potion. Okay, next up is the Cragheart. So we're going to use the bottom of Blunt Force. We do a move to retaliate, gain 1 experience. 1, 2. And then we use Heaving Swing as an attack 3. We will use the push 1, targeting the Earth Demon. Any reason to use anything special? No, I don't think so. Ugh. So 2, and then 3 for putting him into the coals, so 5 total, down to 4. Okay, and so then next up is the Brute. So we're going to use the bottom of Hook and Chain to do a move 3, attack 3. So by moving a straight line, 1, 2, 3. So we get an attack 3 targeting Earth Demon number 4. 1 damage, alright. Well, we've drawn all our bad modifiers. We still have 1 -1 on our deck, so we cannot afford to draw -1 or miss here, but again, it's only 2 out of 17. So then we gain 1 experience, and we do Skewer, targeting Earth Demon and then Sun Demon. Attack 3s. Alright, just barely. And the Sun Demon, alright, good enough. So this dies, and then this takes 2 damage, because it's shield 1. The coin pile on top of the coals, huh? Yeah. Alright, and the Sun Demon goes, creates a new light, moves to here, because focuses the Brute, but can attack 2 targets from here. Attacks the Brute and then the Cragheart. Both with advantage. Yeah, that's advantage for you. 7. Cragheart. Oh, come on! Oh, you dick. 6. Wow. What a dick. Alright. And then the Earth Demon's going to attack the Cragheart for 4. Whew. At least we got that. Alright, that helps a lot. Had enough of this Earth Demon. Sun Demon. Ah, oops. Should have 1 more health. Forgot about that. At least there's that. Yeah, that wasn't really Gripe Null, but I appreciate the use of the emote regardless. No, I don't think we want to lose this. Paying 1 life is real cost. Alright, so basically, this is our best attack for most of the scenario. So losing this is really bad. The only thing that can really truly punish us here, though, is if we lose Provoking Roar. We absolutely have to have Provoking Roar to be able to disable that Sun Demon. Now, of course, Sun Demon's just going to heal while he's Provoking Roar, but so be it. But no, I don't think I can lose this. I just have to not reroll Provoking Roar, that's it. Alright, that's fine. I mean, Balance Measure is certainly a big deal for dealing with Flame Demons going forward, but on average throughout the scenario at this point, especially when we don't know when our next chance of long rest will be, Unstoppable Charge is going to be better than Balance Measure. So as much as I don't necessarily want to lose Balance Measure, there are some cards I would rather lose. Overall, I'm definitely happier to lose that than Unstoppable Charge. Paying 1 life to lose that instead of Unstoppable Charge, if I could make this decision, yeah, I think I still would. I think I just need to stack 5 too much to deal like consistent damage to things like the Sun Demon. Okay, so what's our plan here? Well, Cragheart's not doing much. I think going at 38 should be okay. We should still be able to heal ourselves before the Earth Demons go. And we are 100% disarming that Sun Demon. And I guess we can just make another little attack on him. Fortunately, doing 2 attack 2s on something with 1 shield's kind of bad, but I mean, we don't need to move. We're already adjacent to him. There's not really any advantage to moving. So we might as well just stay where we are and disarm him. Give him a little shank shank. Shank shank shank. Okay, so we don't have any of the elements which actually make Cold Fire good here. We could go after the Cragheart and stun both of them using one of the potions. I think that's probably worth it, to be perfectly honest. We're in a pretty bad spot here, so I think I don't mind doing that. And I guess we'll move with this, and the following turn we can give one of our allies shield plus do an attack 3. I don't love creating light. Kind of sucks, actually, but I think it's fine. So the goal here basically is to hopefully go after the Sun Demon. So essentially we want to Provoking Roar to disarm the Sun Demon. Now this is annoying because the Sun Demon can certainly go after 67. To disarm the Sun Demon. Sun Demon goes, presumably making an attack. I mean, a lot of assumptions here that need to go right for us. And then after that, because the Cragheart can use his minor mana potion on his turn to create ice, we're going to then use Cold Fire to stun both the enemies, which will buy us a fair amount of time to clean them up. There are a lot of ifs here, because if they just like flip a heal here or go after 67, there are a lot of problems, but I think this is our best line. Well, neither thing's attacking. I mean, this is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So the brutes first. I mean, the thing is, we're going to stun him no matter what. Yeah, we don't really have a better line here. So we can almost try to audible in a situation like this. We could just not create the ice anymore because the stun doesn't do anything. The stun does still do something. It actually does 3 damage because he's going to consume the light to heal, and there is a light, unfortunately. We have no way of actually getting rid of the light, so I think it is still worth it to stun him. I mean, we're basically using a minor mana potion to deal 3 damage to him, but also to stun the Earth Demon after the Earth Demon's gone, which I think is pretty valuable. So unfortunately here, I mean, we could do a ranged attack on the Earth Demon instead, but this doesn't change much, especially since the Earth Demon is going to heal before we stun. Which is better to, yeah, do things the way we plan to. You base attack for 2 and Hammer Potion it for next turn. So I can, but I don't really want to Hammer Potion here, simply because, yeah, but that allows us to be safe the next turn. Yeah, it's maybe worth it. I don't like this because we're not gaining a turn by using the Hammer Potion here, and longevity does matter, but at the same time, with how much this guy's hammering us, and we're not actually going to be close to killing him either, right? The Cragheart can do an attack 3 disadvantage or an attack 2 on him, and we're doing, well, no matter what, we should always start by using Spare Dagger's Bottom on him. So we'll do an attack 2 with Spare Dagger's Bottom, and this gives us maybe a little bit more information. So attack 2 with this bottom of Spare Dagger, targeting the Sun Demon. Yeah. We got exactly the average, so it doesn't really change much. Yeah, we played Warding Strength before entering this room, actually. Yeah. It's still, I mean, so we can just Hammer Potion twice. I think you're probably not wrong. It's so important that we don't let him go, and we don't have any more disable after this. We're not close to killing him either. I think so. What that means we have to do is we basically just have to then use another Hammer Potion charge before we rest the next time. Ultimately, that's all right. We end up only gaining 1 turn from our Hammer Potion rather than 2, but we also gain significant effectiveness. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. If I was at the if I was an odd hand size, Hammer Potion Provoking Roar would be exceptional here. Here it's not as good, but I think you're still right. I think it is still worth it. Just being able to disarm him again, guaranteed next turn, is just so valuable. And the disarm just does absolutely nothing here since we're stunning him no matter what. So we'll just do the top of Provoking Roar as a generic attack 2 rather than an attack 2 disarm, targeting the Sun Demon as well. We see some just like a +1. I'll be happy with it. All right. So yeah, I don't know why I went up there because obviously no damage. But then we will use a charge of our Hammer Potion to get back Provoking Roar. Okay. So then the Cragheart goes. So no matter what, we always need to do heal 2 on whom? Who is more hurting here? We're both pretty evenly hurting. I guess we need to heal ourselves. So the reason for this being that we're going to try to we're going to disarm the Sun Demon again next turn. So the Sun Demon can attack both things, but is going to be disarmed. Whereas this is only going to attack the Cragheart. So since we're not going to be disabling this next turn, I mean, I guess it will be disabled next turn, but then the turn after. I mean, it's going to be a while until we actually start worrying about this. It's better that we have more health since we're the one tanking that. Since there's a decent chance that'll get another attack off, whereas we're going to try to avoid the Sun Demon getting another attack off. So what have we drawn thus far? We've drawn a -1 and a -2 from our deck. So we have only a single -1 left in our deck, right? We've drawn, oh no, we're here. Oops. We've drawn a -1 and a +1. Yes, they are. So the mod that I use is actually below. I mean, in the description down below, you can find the link to this mod. There is another mod you can use as well called the Fantasy Setup, which is if you play the Hidden Rooms variant, that one would be better for you. Either mod is quite good, and both of them, yeah, have everything. So you can play as much as you want. All right, so does anyone know, did we ever see the math for this? I know Antares showed it was it Antares or was it you, ECU? I think it was actually you, ECU, who showed me the math. This is for advantage, so here's for disadvantage. So it's just this has come up a lot, so I wish I could remember this. I think we did it for disadvantage. Is doing an attack 3 disadvantage more valuable than an attack 2 not disadvantage? Yeah, I've got a lot of habit with it. So which one does higher average damage? I think, especially with an improved deck like we have, I think the attack 3 disadvantage is higher average damage than just attack 2. So I think I will use Crater. So we'll do an attack 3, range 3, targeting the Sun Demon, which is disadvantage. So we flip 2. I think this is higher. Not sure though. All right, well, it was definitely higher here. So we got 4 in the end, which is 3 damage. That's quite helpful. Okay, and then the Earth Demon goes, heals himself for 3, but I believe he's still at max health. Yes. And there's no Earth to consume, so it does nothing. Then next up is the Spellweaver's turn. So, well, we can use the top of cold. Oh, we forgot to use the potion to create ice from the, because that was obviously how we're using cold fire. All right, so then, like I said, we actually already have range with cold fire, so we can do the attack first. So we will consume the ice, make an attack 1, targeting both targets, which attack 1's done. We'll do Sun Demon and then Earth Demon, which is just an attack 1. So Sun Demon, no damage, Earth Demon. All right, well, that was the correct order for once, amazingly. So down to 13, and they're both stunned. I'm not going to put the stun on the Sun Demon because he goes next and just does nothing. All right. Oh, we had the move on the bottom of Flame Strike. Do we want to move up? What do we have? We're already in range. I guess we don't really want to move up. If we move up, maybe, I guess it never leads to us getting attacked. We should never, unless I guess they move, but I'm not sure they'll move. Yeah, I guess we're safe to move up 1. It shouldn't change anything right now. All right, well, we're going to play these 2 cards no matter what, and we'll see which we end up doing. Definitely the earlier initiative. Yeah, so we're going to disarm the Sun Demon anyway. There would be consideration for trying to go later because the Sun Demon can consume light to target all enemies with all nearby enemies or all enemies within range with a ranged attack. But since we're going to disarm them anyway, it doesn't actually change anything. Oops, that's not the card we want. I guess whichever other card we play, we're just getting back anyway, so it really changes nothing. So sure. I guess we're just gonna use the Hammer Potion to get back to bottom, since we're just using a generic move here, since we don't really need to move anywhere. All right, Yol Kragikins. Short rest or long rest? Probably short rest. This Sun Demon is too much of a threat to try to take a turn off. I don't love losing that. We're gonna need that at some point, but fortunately we still have some good healing options between Leaping Cleave. Between Rumbling Advance and I was just looking at Leaping Cleave. That's why. Between Rumbling Advance and Elemental Aid. Okay. So, what can we do here? We need to hit the Sun Demon. Rocks are not bad. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. If we can use rocks now, the following turn we can use Heaving Swing to actually finish the Sun Demon off. So we don't need to go so early here. We can actually just go ahead and use our heal because we don't need to move. And then the following turn we can go as early as humanly possible for us, using this for initiative, and we can use Heaving Swing to knock the Sun Demon back into the rock that we create with Rock Slide this turn, which should hopefully be enough to kill him. That's 4 direct damage over the course of 2 turns. Again, we just have to hope that he doesn't heal himself while he's disarmed, but I think this is a good plan. All right, no heal. You're stunned, so you do nothing. All right, great. So, first things first, we're going to go with the Brute. We're going to do an attack to disarm, targeting the Sun Demon. The top of Provoking Roar. Okay, 2 damage. Down to 5. And he's disarmed. And then we have a generic move too. Man, those coins are just sitting there taunting me. Because I just got this generic move too and nothing to do with it. To coins or not to coins? No. I think we'll just move 1, 2. Doing nothing. And then since we use the bottom as a generic move, we'll use our other charge for Hammer Potion. And get Trample back. I'll get them at some point, hopefully. But right now, I'm missing too much health to go walk in there and take 3 damage when I'm at 4. All right, next up is this Spellweaver. So we can actually start attacking with Flashing Burst now, right? Heaving Swing should kill this. Well, so Rock Slide's going to do 2 damage to this, so it'll be down to 3. And so then, what have we drawn in our deck so far? We've drawn a -1. Man. To take a risk or not to take a risk, right? So basically, we can hit this with Flashing Burst, which will do 2 damage to it. Then it'll guaranteed always die from the direct damage of Rock Slide plus Massive Boulder. Otherwise, we can just leave it. It's going to have 1 health, presumably, but be taking an attack 3. So even a -1 still kills it with its 1 shield. So it would literally have to be a -2 or miss to not kill it. What could possibly go wrong? We're going to attack 3, range 3, targeting the Earth Demon. Yeah. With Flashing Burst, creating a light. Don't love that we create a light here, but it's still definitely worth attacking, I think. All right, 4. This is down to 9. And then we have move if we want it with elemental aid, because the shield does nothing here since no enemies are attacking. We have to be able to place a rock here or here to damage this. Here would be the best, but then the Spellweaver takes damage, which we don't really want. Is going here any better? Not really. So I guess we'll just stay where we are. All right, so we're done. So then the Sun Demon goes, consumes Sun, creates Sun, disarmed, so it does nothing. Oh, oops, I forgot the Cragheart's turn. My bad. 1 experience, create an Earth. Ah, so our Earth is actually going to be gone, because then the Earth is going to be turned into a Sun. So create some rocks. So place 1 here, place 1 here. Somewhere also range 4 that's not too annoying. There's 1 here, I guess. So this takes 2 damage. This takes 2 damage. And that's it. I do love me a good rock slide. And then the Earth Demon is stunned, so it does nothing. All right. So earliest possible initiative, heaving swing to take care of this guy. This Sun Demon. I think we will actually take a long rest here with the Spellweaver, most likely. Let's see. So that kills that. I guess this still has 7 health, but if it gets 1 attack off, is it worth long resting? The question is, does not long resting actually make a difference? Yeah, it does, right? We can do unstoppable charge plus, I guess our earliest initiative is this, 35 to try to go before it. This gives us an attack 5 on the Earth Demon, putting it down to 2. So then if the Spellweaver can just chip in for a little bit of damage. Yeah, all right, let's short rest. We'll have a chance to long rest before we go into the next room anyway, I think. All right, perfectly happy losing Flame Strike. The 2 cards I actually care most about, well, obviously Reviving Ether, and I really want to keep the heal as well, because we're going to need a lot of healing before we go into the next room. Average of attack 3, disadvantage with a base. Okay, so it is. All right, that's really good to know. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Isio. That's very useful math. So it is then mathematically better on a base deck with no outside influence to do a disadvantaged attack 3 rather than a generic attack 2. Again, unless like you need a specific number, which is unless you need to, like assuming you're just going for maximum amount of damage. All right, perfect. So here we have Frost Armor, which we might as well use because there's that light there, which we can consume for experience. And we kind of need to move. Coins? Anyone? He'll be dead, so we could go here and grab these. Playing on TTS. Yes, there's a fair counterpoint there. There's a fair counterpoint there. I guess I kind of want to keep the move 4 jump to go over the traps, right? So if we go to these coins here, taking a bit of damage, so be it. Someone's got to get them. We don't really have a loot action. Then from there we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that works. So we use this 4 now, and then the other 4 the following turn. Okay. We have bad initiative next turn. Presumably all the things should be dead. Knock on wood. All right, let's go. 73, 83. Fine, fine. So first things first. Cragheart, we're going to use the top of Heaving Swing to do an attack 3, push 1. We will be pushing him into the obstacle. So attack 3 on the Sun Demon. Okay, so 4. What? No, we don't even get the experience. Of all the times not to draw well. All right, so that goes there. And then we'll just do a generic move 2 with the bottom of Unstable Upheaval, walking onto this coin. Because we also do want money. We've got to get to Curse NATO somehow. And we don't need to use a Hammer Potion here to get Unstable Upheaval back. The initiative doesn't matter. We're just going to be running through this room for a little while, with the enemies presumably all dead. Okay, so then next up is the Spellweaver. So we're going to consume the light, gaining 1 experience, do an attack 3, range 3. God, again, we're not going to kill. The Spellweaver is determined to never get a perk, actually. That's really the thing now. All right, attack 3 on the Earth Demon. All right, 5. Okay, why not? What is his goal again? Oh, we used our boots once, and we used the minor mana potion. So up to 3. Yeah, not like we're ever going to not get that. But, yeah. Then we have a move 4 with the bottom of Flashing Burst. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, guess how we used to. We're going to do What hot coals? No hot coals here. So it's 3 damage from this trap. I mean, let's be real for a second. Would any character whose name is literally Scoundrel ever consider not walking onto hot coals for money? No. All right. Next up, we have the Brute, who does a generic move 2 with Skewer, which is just going to have to be to here. It's unfortunate that we have to move before attacking, so we won't be able to pick up his coin very easily, but that's fine. And then we use Unstoppable Charge, gaining 1 experience, making an attack 5 on the Earth Demon. Okay. Whew. Well, we made it through this room. A little bit worse for the wear. We're at 2 life, 8 life, and 4 life. But, yeah. We did make it. That's what matters most. Okay, so that and that are done. So, time to start the healing. So we definitely want to do this and the other thing, this. We need to create Earth and, again, just use our best heal, while also, I suppose, moving. We can't actually make it to that, can we? Unless we use Massive Boulder to move, which we can actually do. So do we leave this coin behind? These are 3 coins rather than 4 coins, and the person to get it would be the Brute. Everyone else is going to be moving down this way, so I guess it makes the most sense. And we probably all want to long rest before we go into the next room. So yeah, I suppose it is better to just go down for the bottom coin. So we'll do something like this. So that means the Brute has to move down as well. Oh man. No coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can jump over afterwards. So only the Cragheart will have to walk through a trap. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. All right. We'll have to set up our initiative in a second. We can save that one. I guess this works fine now. Which cards we use doesn't really matter. So this needs to go before here, and we want to use the Spellweaver's big heal, presumably actually on the Spellweaver herself. That'd be a heal 5, which will put us to 7, and the long rest puts us to full. Is it not more valuable to put it on the Brute, maybe? Yeah, it actually is probably more valuable to put it on the Brute, but the Brute will have moved down, so that's fine. The question is just whether being at 4 life on the Spellweaver and having, yeah, it's got to be better to have more health on the Brute, I think. It kind of hurts, though. I mean, being at 4 is not very comfortable. The Brute has more defensive stuff, but yeah, it's still got to be the way to do it, I think. All right, let's go. So first up is the Cragheart. We're going to use the top of Rumbling Advance to do a heal 4, range 2. Guess we can do this on the, no, I think it should all be dumped on the Brute. Let's see. So we're doing a 4 plus 5, so 9 to put to 13, then the heal 2 from the long rest that puts the Brute to 15. Brute is the one who has to tank the most hits, so I guess it does make sense. I mean, we're basically going to choose to leave someone at 4 life so that someone else can get 1 away from max. We also need to do some healing of the Cragheart at some point, but that's less of a priority. Yeah, the highest priority does have to be healing the Brute to max, I think, or as close to max as possible. All right, let's do it. So we'll do a heal 4 on the Brute with the top of Rumbling Advance, putting him to 8, and then we'll do a move 4 with the bottom of Massive Boulder, 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the coin. Okay. And so then we're done. So then the Brute goes, and he's going to do a move 4 with the bottom hook and chain. 2, 3, 4 to here. And then the Spellweaver is, oh yeah, sorry, there was Earth created by Rumbling Advance. The Spellweaver is going to use the top of Elemental Aid to consume the Earth, gaining 1 experience, and do a heal 5, range 2. Which, yeah, is going to be on the Brute, I guess. Yeah, makes more sense. I mean, basically at this point, both of them are at the same life total, so I'd rather have 5 more health on the Brute rather than 5 more health on the Cragheart, typically. The Brute's also already played a Lost card. The Cragheart hasn't played any, although he's about to play backup ammo. But this just means that the Cragheart can also more easily afford to lose cards, if necessary, than the Brute can. Although the Brute has a lot more defensive things, but he's also supposed to take a lot more hits. So 5 heal on the Brute. And then we do move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And that's the end of the round. So now the Brute moves down further. Long rest after that. Oh, no. Oh, but I couldn't. Oh, yeah. No, I actually want to heal the Cragheart. I forgot the Cragheart has to actually tank a trap. What are these traps? They're just damage traps, right? Yeah. So actually, I'll take that back. Sorry, Brute. So it's actually going to be 5 healing on the Cragheart. Ugh, we're going to be in a lot worse shape than I'd hoped to be going into this room. Maybe we'll spend another turn or two healing. Okay, yeah, because the Cragheart actually has to walk straight through a trap, huh? The worst. So we're just going to move on to the trap then, I suppose. Gain an experience while we do it. It's the best kind of walking onto a trap, right? And set up backup ammo. And yeah, sucks because we're actually going to get rid of a card I think that we want. Yeah. Is it better to not gain an experience then and to be able to get rid of something else? No. I want experience. I don't actually care about experience that much for the Cragheart anymore, right? The truth is, strategically, it's not advantageous for the party to have the Cragheart gain experience anymore because his levels 4 through 8 are all so mediocre. And yeah, some of them are quite fine. Like Cataclysm's a good card, and Meteor's move 4 jump is fine. Rocky End is a nice card, but the truth is that they're not that valuable. Whereas they do increase the monster's levels. What card would I rather get rid of here? I mean, Crater does have some value in dealing with some Flame Demons, though, as lost in the last room. Dirt Tornado is really medium, but what am I going to get rid of when I long rest, then, otherwise? Can be Earth and Clod or Heaving Swing, I suppose? Heaving Swing is so good once we create obstacles, though. Now we have Rock Slide. I don't think I ever want it to be that. I don't really want it to be any of these cards. I guess it should really be one of these. Alright, let's not gain 1 experience, then. I do want to beat this scenario. I think we'll just get rid of Dirt Tornado, then we'll use this as a move. Alright. And so the Spellweaver is long resting here. Already in position. Let's do it. So first we have the Brute, I guess. Move 4 jump or move 3 jump, creating a wind. Doesn't really matter either way, we're going down here. Top doing nothing. Then the Cragheart goes, moves onto this trap. Trap is 6 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Which is why he did need to be the one getting the heal. Let's double check real quick. Yep, trap is 6 damage. Okay, and then setting up backup ammo before we go into this next room for sure. And long rest for the Spellweaver. So this was in our hand. We can't actually get rid of that. That's a little annoying. Yeah, we're going to need to do a little time healing before we go in. I guess it should be this then that we get rid of because I mean, we'll have it back when we go in anyway to move. All right, so we need to get the Cragheart's healing cards back. So it has to be a long rest from him here. Long rest there. We'll just do a heal even though we don't have the earth yet. Still better to do a heal than not. And the bottom doesn't really matter. We just need to keep one of the bottom slowly thriving Ether anyway, but we'll worry about that shortly. Definitely gonna spend a little bit of time healing. I mean, there's only one more room left, so it's better to do, like, we're gonna waste a little bit of time just sitting around healing here, but at the same time, if we don't do it now, we're gonna end up missing life for sure in this last room. So, and then we're gonna want healing during combat, where it's gonna cost us a lot more. So I'd rather actually just do it now, even if it does waste some time. All right, let's go. So we just do a heal 3. We'll do it on ourselves. I think. No, better do it on one of them. Yeah, let's do a heal 3, I guess, on the Cragheart then. Yeah. Okay, and then they both get their long rests. So heal 2, refresh this, refresh all these, heal 2. So we don't have balance measure anymore, so keeping all the move 4s matters not so much. Where's my... Oh yeah, there are 2 cards right there. So we can get rid of move forward. This is good in the last room anyway. I guess Hook and Chain is kind of the easiest thing to get rid of, probably. It's weird to get rid of your level 3 card, right? But yeah, I think it maybe is it just more flexible than Spare Dagger though, because it can be a move forward. And the attack 2 and bottom isn't so good. Although the initiative difference does matter. It's always one of these two, I think. No, I think we'll get rid of Hook and Chain. I think that's fine. I think in the turn we enter, we'll need a big move, so we can do something like this, or even just this, you know, as well as a ranged attack. Because we don't need to use the execute right away, but we'll use it like a couple turns in. So I think this still warrants itself pretty well. So then here, long rest as well. Like I said, we get rid of Dirt Tornado. That's the reason we had to get rid of it. Okay, so here we need to do a short rest for the Spellweaver. Because we want to spend a turn healing, and then I think we're going to spend a turn playing Reviving Ether. Maybe even not a turn healing, we'll see. Well, I guess this brings the question now. Yeah, I think we'll not spend a turn healing then. Let's see how much healing we'll have if we don't keep this. So if we just try to play Reviving Ether this turn, the Cragheart can do heal 4 and heal 2. So what now? Yeah, let's pay 1 life and keep this actually. Let's do 1 more turn of healing. We'll waste 1 more turn here. I think that's fine. We've got plenty of longevity on everyone still, I think. The health is actually more valuable. Alright, so we lose Frost Armor. So we'll get this back. Oh, when we long rested, I forgot to refresh that as well. We did just long rest. Okay, so what's our plan here? We need to heal. Keep this in our hand, that way we can short rest without concern. Here we're healing, going to move 4, that's fine, and healing. And here we're just playing some cards that we don't really care about having. I guess Provoking Roar we definitely don't care about having right when we get in. And yeah, probably not Trample either. Alright. Let's go. So Brute just does nothing, stays where he is. Cragheart's up next. We've got a heal 2 and a heal 4. How do we distribute these? So I guess if we use the heal 5 from the Spellweaver on the Brute, that puts him up to missing 1. If we do the heal 4 on the Cragheart, he's up to full, and then do the heal 2 on the Spellweaver is up to 5. Maybe it's better, yeah, better to put the Spellweaver up to 7. All right, so we'll use the heal 2 on ourselves on the bottom of Earth and Clod, and then we'll use the top of Rumbling Advance to do a heal 4 on the Spellweaver. I think this is the safest overall. Then the Spellweaver's at 7. The Spellweaver's missing 2, Cragheart's missing 2, Brute's missing 1. Yeah, I think that's a good distribution. Okay, so then, yeah, we just do those 2 things for him, and then the Spellweaver goes, consumes the newly created Earth, which gives 1 experience, and does a heal 5, targeting the Brute. Alright, and does nothing with the bottom of Coldfire. Short rest. Yeah, it's not worth it. We could pay 1 life to get that back. The advantage of having that would be that we could get the card back immediately. We would have 7 cards in our hand after playing Reviving Ether rather than 6, but it doesn't give us an extra turn, especially since we don't have a Hammer Potion. It's not worth paying a life for that. So, the question is, should we actually go in this turn? Or should we wait for the Spellweaver to be ready? Should we try to draw the enemies back towards us? Well, the Spellweaver sets up? Or should we just run into the room? I think drawing the enemies back is probably the right way to go. So, yeah, we can move and create wind. Of course, they're just going to consume my element again, but so be it. And hopefully do a ranged attack, and then set up for, yeah, move and skewer next turn. Seems good. And so here, I guess we're going to toss some rocks into the room. That's kind of obvious thing to do here. I guess it's actually even fine if we go first. We can walk onto the door, give ourselves 1 experience, maybe walk a little bit further if we need to, maybe not, and then also get some experience while we drop some rocks into the room. This can slow down the enemies that approach as well. Plus, overall, this seems like a good opportunity to do this because we then have two good top actions afterwards. We've got Heaving Boulder, or Massive Boulder and Heaving Swing. Massive Boulder obviously will be better once they clump up, and Heaving Swing will be good once we have those obstacles down. So I think doing this first actually seems fine. Seems fine for him to open the door. So Brute still needs to do a one-shot. It's going to be a little bit harder now that we don't have Balance Measure anymore, so we'll see how that goes. Spellweaver also still needs to get a bunch of kills. All right, let's do the darn thing. I guess what would be great is if we went after the Spellweaver, because then we could actually have the shield. Can we arrange that? Not so easily for the Brute, huh? Unless the Brute does this. This could be nice, right? So the advantage of this is that the Spellweaver can actually give the shield to the Cragheart first. So then when the Cragheart walks in and opens the door, even if the Cragheart does end up taking some attacks, he'll actually shrug off most of it. That seems really good, actually. It's just awkward because then the Brute has to play this card, which we kind of want to do a ranged attack. But I mean, with move 5, we can try to make sure we get this to work, and then we'll still have, the ability to skewer next turn. I think the upside of getting the 2 shield on the Cragheart is worth the Brute having to play this card this turn to go after. All right, let's do it like this then. Okay, so we're finally going in. We're going to use the bottom of Elemental Aid and the top of Reviving Ether. Reviving Ether creates Dark. And Elemental Aid, we're going to give 2 shield to the Cragheart, because the Cragheart will almost certainly take all the attacks, since the Cragheart will actually open the door, and anything that's gone before 81 will go, so almost everything in the room should go before the Brute actually goes in, even though the Brute will typically be the one who goes further in. So yeah, the Cragheart has shield 2 for the rest of the round, and we recover all our lost cards. Okay, and that's lost. So then next up is the Cragheart. So we're going to do a move 2 with the bottom of Blunt Force. Gain 1 experience. We've got Retaliate 1. We've got 1 more movement after the door. We're confident we're going to delete that door. All right, time to set up this monster of a room. Oh, I'm going to have to refill my water in a second here. Probably wait till after the scenario, hopefully. This one should move up a little bit more. All right, so we've got 1 here, 1 here. Not perfect. 1 here, 1 here. Here and here. The whole wall. And then here, 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 here. Unlock these? I just unlocked that one. Okay. All right. Yeah, there is a treasure in here, and we will be trying to get that for sure. Only playing on +2, which shouldn't be too difficult, one should hope. But remains to be seen. Do have to go through some coals to get it, but Spellweaver is no stranger to walking through some coals. All right, so we've got 2 Earth Demons in the front, 1 regular, 1 elite. So 15 and 21 health, respectively. Okay. Then we've got, what for Sun Demons? Elite Sun Demon again? 1 Elite Sun Demon. But only regular flames, so that's better, I guess. Still, another Elite Sun Demon. Man, this guy worked us so hard last time. It's no joke. Okay, and then we've got 2 regular flame demons. It's not an enormous amount of enemies for the last room, to be honest. I kind of expected more, but I guess the challenge is really the 2 elites, specifically the 1 elite flame sun demon. I mean, that was already so difficult for us last time. Why is this number on the wrong side? Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. These have only 3 health each. Okay. That is the proper setup, I believe. Yep. All right. Let's see what they're all up to. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Range attacks, but with minus move. I'm not doing anything. I don't mind that. All right, let's map all this out. So -2 with range 4. Go here. Doesn't have line of sight to here though. So, but does have line of sight to here. Ugh, that's annoying. Normally this shouldn't have been able to attack me actually, because with 3 movement it should only have been go there. See if it's Sun Demons while they're ranged. God, they don't let up with being annoying, huh? All right, let's see. And then this would normally be able to go here. Expand like this or like this. Can never hit there. And this is 1, 2, 3. Same thing. I guess we avoid all the attacks if we actually go back like this, right? No, this gets to hit the root. This can't. They're attacking on -1. It's kind of difficult, right? So let's see. I guess we got the obstacles to play still. Hold on. Hold on. Can we ever reach? So what if it's the most we could do? What if we were like here? No, we're still very far from being able to. Even if we use our boots and went all the way onto this, we still couldn't reach. All right. What about this one over here? We still have to reach one of these spots because these are not empty. So here, we would have to step on the coals to do it now. So the doesn't look like we're hitting the flame demons with obstacles, which kind of sucks because those are the highest priorities. But all right. So how can we slow these things down? Unfortunately, we can't hit the Sun Demon and completely prevent these from reaching us, really. At the same time, this obstacle wall is quite valuable because it'll actually force them to walk through the coals, which is very good for us. Missed 2 damage on the most. This is the most dangerous enemy in the room, though, without a doubt. Ugh. So what if we go here? We can still do this whole wall. This will still get to hit us. But we do have the 2 shield anyway for its attack. None of these will actually hit us. And we'll force... I mean, so we'll be doing more damage to this. Both of these, actually, because both of them will end up walking through the coals. So we'll do 6 extra damage here, but we'll be missing 2 damage on the most important thing. Yeah, pulling them back towards us is quite valuable. Man, this is actually a tough call. This is a tough call. I think it's got to be better. I mean, also by doing this, we avoid these attacks entirely without having to move so far back and still getting to place the obstacles. I think this has to be the correct choice. Is there a better way? No, if we're here, we would have to stop actually here if we wanted to hit him. If we do that, we could place one here. No, this could still, we'd have to place like here and here. Then this elite still hits us and we get immobilized there. Nah, we're not about that. All right, we'll move back to there. We don't need to use our boots, which is nice as well. We're going to create an earth, gain 1 experience. Did we already gain our 1 experience? Yes, we did. And place 3 rocks. This is what, I mean, I love Rockslide as a card. I love the Cragheart's design in general. I think Rockslide is just an excellent design for a card. I mean, yeah, it's possibly a little bit too strong, but it doesn't bother me so much that a class has like kind of a class-defining card, which is strong like this, especially since it does such a unique thing, and it has its weaknesses. It does a ton of damage, but it's very bad at finishing enemies off, other than enemies like Flame Demons. It's like a little bit of damage everywhere, but not actually killing anything, which can be a downside for the party. But so this is the sort of thing that every time you use it, you have to consider, like, is it better to try to prioritize stopping enemies from attacking or dealing damage to high priority targets, stuff like this. It's really a great mechanic. Really well designed, I think. All right, yeah, we have line of sight of all those. We place all those like that. And that's our turn. So then the flame demons do absolutely nothing. Then I didn't actually consider that. My God, the element again? I'm never getting this wind. Oh, I didn't actually consider that I won't be able to. So he hits anyway. Then this isn't going to walk through the coals. Can we run back across the coals afterwards? Yeah, we have jump again. All right. Yeah, because we actually go before the Earth Demons by 1. Oh, that's rough. But it's actually still all right, I think. Oh, but then it's going to be the Brute who gets hit. The shield won't have mattered. So we basically have a choice here. We can have the Brute run up. Let's use the boots as well. That we can still do move forward pretty easily. Get back. And they'll still walk through the coals at some point. They'll just be further down here first. That's actually fine. And this allows us to get an attack 5 on the Sun Demon, which is really worthwhile, I think. Okay, yeah, we'll do this. So we're going to use the bottom of Leaping Cleave as a move 3 jump, creating wind, but not for any purpose. We need to use our boots as well. So it's 2 more movement. We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Going to there, and then we're going to use Unstoppable Charge as an attack 5, targeting the Elite Sun Demon. Can we hit a crit one time? Alright, +1. So 6. So this is 5 actual damage. Yeah, it's definitely worth. It's worth taking a bit more damage to get that significant chunk of damage on such an important enemy. Okay, then the Earth Demons go. So they're going to consume any element, which in this case is always wind for them, and then they create more Earth. And they do move 3 and 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. Both going like this because this is their focus. So we'll just have to make sure we skedaddle on out of here before they can cause any more problems. And then the Sun Demon goes. So the Sun Demon is going to move away to lose disadvantage. Or to be regularly. Well, yeah. I mean, here it would actually be regular, but here it has advantage. And makes an attack 5 with advantage. That's interesting. I'm actually curious. Hold on. I'm curious about what the wording is in the rulebook. This makes sense to do anyway. Obviously, he should prioritize moving away, but does he actually? Because I know they move away to lose disadvantage. Is that what it says? This is interesting, the actual specific wording in the rulebook. If the monster is performing a ranged attack, it will only move towards a hex where it is within range to perform the best attack. A monster will also move away from its focused enemy until it can perform the ranged attack without disadvantage. Well, the ranged attack doesn't actually have disadvantage, does it? Because the enemy has advantage by default, so I guess it depends where you consider it the check for advantage. Anyway, like I said, it makes sense to have it move away. I'm going to do this. Logically, this is how it's supposed to behave. It's just funny because, like, for example, if you muddle a ranged enemy, it doesn't move away because it can't lose disadvantage. It has it no matter what. Well, here it doesn't actually have disadvantage because it has advantage by default, so the advantage and disadvantage counteract each other, and it just has a regular attack. So based on a strict reading of the rulebook, you could argue otherwise, I think. You could argue that it would actually just stay here, just to make a regular attack, rather than moving away to make an advantaged attack. But you could also argue that it checks that the ranged attack itself contains disadvantage, which is actually the thing it's avoiding, not whether the entire action, I guess, has disadvantage. It's interesting. All right, regardless, not relevant here. We're going to have him move away. He makes an attack 5 with advantage against the Brute. Every time. Damn, this Sun Demon kills it with the modifiers. Always flips a -1 first to get my hopes up, but then it's like, bam, the exact opposite. So that makes this attack a 6. No reason to be greedy, right? We're going to take 3 anyway, so. Which gives us 1 experience, and we take 3. Okay. It's time to start doing things. So. Interesting choices here, right? Massive Boulder's also not looking great yet. So let's try to let the enemies clump up a bit more to get a better Massive Boulder. So we'll go as late as possible here, and we'll just use Crater to move. We still have generic move with our boots, so we've got plenty of movement to be able to set this up well enough to try to get some enemies clump so we can get a better multi-target Massive Boulder with our backup ammo. So the Brute has to move back no matter what. It has to play this and is never playing this for the initiative. I think it makes sense to play this just to be a little bit safer with the initiative so we don't go, because these can go at 30, which is a scary thing. Yeah, I mean, the only argument would be to save that rather than this, but I don't think it matters much. I think it's better just to have the better initiative. And as for the Spellweaver, we won't have range to target the Sun Demon unless we go late. I guess we can try to go as late as possible with Fire Orbs. Try to move up and hit multiple things with Fire Orbs. Yeah, this actually works pretty well. We can just do something like this. So the idea here is going to be to use the bottom of Flashing Burst to move and then Fire Orbs 3 targets. We actually don't want to Fire Orbs the Flame Demons. We'd rather Fire Orbs the Earth Demon and Sun Demon because the Flame Demons have shield and the Cragheart can deal with the shield by splash damage plus the Piercing Bow, whereas we don't have the Piercing Bow anymore, so we'd rather our Fire Orbs be hitting non-Flame Demon targets. And so we're basically hoping that the Sun Demon will have moved up because the Brute will have run away. If the Sun Demon ends up not moving up enough for us to hit, I mean, it should. Even if it goes before, unless it does a ranged attack, it'll move up to here, which again will allow the Spellweaver to hit multiple targets, hopefully later. Again, it also matters if we go after them. If somehow we can't do, if it doesn't set itself up for Fire Orbs, we're still set up well here because we can use Fire Orbs to do a move 3, and then after that, you can use Flashing Burst just as a generic ranged attack. I mean, as an attack 3 range 3, which is still fine, even if it doesn't give us as much of a power spike as Fire Orbs. Ideally, we'd like to use Fire Orbs and use our Minor Mana Potion, and then we can go very early with Mana Bolt next turn into Cold Fire to get some stun damage. And overall, yeah, I think this looks good for everyone. Let's give it a go. So how are you trying to mess with us here? No? Well, happy I went at 27, because there is quite indeed that 30. Also happy to see them. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because they reflip or reshuffle. All right. So we're going to gain 1 experience for the Brute. We're going to do an attack 3 range 3. We're going to target the Sun Demon because, again, this is definitely by far our highest priority for things to kill here. +1. Sounds good. So it becomes a 4, so 3 actual damage down to 7. And then we've got a move 4 jump with the bottom of Fatal Advance. So how is this going to work? So the Earth Demons will have gone before, so we will actually be able to move up and Fire Orbs them. But we go after all these things, so we just want to move as far away as possible. So if we go there, is it fine? Let's check the Flame Demons. How far can the Flame Demons reach? 4 movement, 4 range. So this one reaches the door. So unfortunately at the door we still get hit. This one doesn't hit the door. All right. Well, it's still better just not to get hit. Moving that far back I think is fine. The enemies are going to move up through the coals anyway, so it seems all right. The only issue is we do need to make sure someone goes and gets that chest, which probably does have to still be the Brute at some point, but we've got moves for days. All right, move 4 jump from the bottom of Fatal Advance. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the door. So then we're done. So then the Flame Demons go. So this one goes first. 3 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So it makes an attack 1 wound, targeting the Brute. All right, no damage, but the Brute gets a wound. Will a monster move away from its target if it is adjacent and is performing a ranged attack? Yes, monsters move away. No. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the FAQ does make it clear. Thank you. Although the maximize attack, terminology is also used in regarding in explaining how monsters interact with multiple targets. So it's, I guess you could still say that it's maybe not clear if that's referring to that. I mean, when maximizing attacks means maximizing the number of targets. But I guess this question specifically just refers to moving away for disadvantage. Although again, it could still be referring to that. But yeah, I mean, it still makes sense to me that it should do this. It's just logical, even if I'm not 100% sure if a literal reading of the rules would lead to the same conclusion. All right, creating a light. Oh no, sorry, this guy needs to go. But 1, 2, 3, 4. So it could move up like this, but it makes more sense for it. I mean, it being central is going to be advantageous for us with Massive Boulder. There's no doubt about this. But this is also the way it actually should move. It needs to move as much as possible, so it could go to any of these, right? But the more it's in the center, the easier. Like here, it's harder for it to actually hit enemies that are in this room, whereas here it gets better line of sight. This is just a more optimal path to take. And this is how I would always do this anyway, regardless of whether I had something like this coming up or not. All right, so then the Sun Demon goes. I've already created light. He has 3 movement. 1, 2, 3 to there. I mean, here I could do this, but then this would be kind of pushing it. This is just as good and doesn't put him any closer. And I mean, I guess this is kind of better because he also does range attacks, but I don't consider him to be a ranged enemy, so I don't consider him moving based on range line of sight, although he does have a number of ranged attacks, as it turns out. All right, Earth Demons go. They immobilize everything within range 3. Nothing is within range 3. The Earth is consumed, though. It doesn't really matter. They have a heal 3, but I think they're actually not all full health. Yeah, because they took damage from the rocks. All right, fair enough. Well, the rock damage didn't end up mattering, but the rock wall has been quite helpful. Okay, so Spellweaver's up. We've got a move 4 on the bottom of Flashing Burst. So we have no enemies going after, so we can basically do this however we want. We do want to hit him. We want to hit him. Guess we're hitting one of the Flame Demons then. That's not great, but it's okay. Well, let's see. Is it better to just have disadvantage here? We have the goggles, right? Let's have a look at this. All right, so let's say 1, 2, 3. So we could stop here, and we can hit all 3 of these targets. We don't get to hit this. If we go here, we can hit the 3 targets that we really want, but we have disadvantage on this one. Plus, there's obviously a risk of putting ourselves all the way up here. Here, we're outside the retaliate range, which is nice. This is only 3 health. So we're going to make an attack 4 with advantage. It has 3 shields, so it should take 1 damage. So we would have to get +1... Because then the Cragheart can move up to here and target both of these with its 2-target massive boulder. This will splash 1 here and kill this because we can use the piercing bow. Now, this is of course a bit of a shame that we're using the piercing bow and not targeting both of them. But if we do end up getting a +1 with our advantage attack on this Flame Demon, then we'll have done 2 damage, and then the splash extra off this will just be fine. Let's see what we've drawn in our deck thus far. We can actually have a pretty good idea about this. Oof, yeah, that's not looking great, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 +1s and a +2, which have been drawn. How many +1s in our deck total? We have 7, so we only have 1 +1 left in our deck, and we would have to draw, so we have so there are 2 out of because a crit or the +1 does it, which are the 2 things we could draw. We've got 2 chances at 40%. It's pretty reasonable, but knowing my luck, I prefer not to take that chance. I guess the downside here is we're going to take a disadvantaged attack against the most valuable target in the room when we have a 1 in 5 chance of drawing a miss. I don't love that either, but I guess this also gives us a very good chance of, we guaranteed get a crit on something in the room then, no matter what, which is also a positive. All right, yeah. I guess we're getting a crit no matter what, but on things with more health. I guess at the same time, do we even care about hitting this? If we can just use Fatal Advance to kill this? We might not want to use Fatal Advance to kill this, though, because this is our move 4 jump, which will allow us to go down and get the treasure chest. Which we look pretty fine right now. Yeah, let's do it like this. This seems best, I think. All right. So, create a fire with fire orbs. Gain 3 experience. 3 targets. We're going to target Sun Demon, so Elite Sun Demon, Elite Earth Demon, and the regular Earth Demon. Would someone be so kind as to give me the ordering for the targets here? I really don't want to choose this because I really don't want to get basically I just don't want to get the miss on the Elite Sun Demon. I think that's maybe the only way I can still lose this scenario. We're gonna use the power potion. We're gonna use the goggles. We're also, oh yeah, we can't possibly create ice here, so we'll just go ahead and use this now, creating ice, so that we can set up cold fire next turn. Any takers on giving me an order? We've got Sun Demon and 2 Earth Demons. Elite is 4 and regular is 6. Please. This is going to be lost. So this is attack 4 advantage on the 2 Earth Demons and attack 4 regular on the Sun Demon. I'll be patient for a second. All right. Thank you very much, Barry. Just double checking one thing else. All right. Sun 6-4. Let's do it. So Sun's first. This is regular. Please just not the miss. All right, that's fine. That's all we cared about, really. Now we get the miss on an advantage attack. This is as good as could be. Perfect. Thank you, Barry. Okay, so the Sun, we got a +1 on a 4, so this becomes a 5. So 4 damage down to 3. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, and my app has frozen again, so let's just restart that. It's reloading up chat. There we go. Okay, so then it was next was 6 and then 4. Okay, so 6 next. Here the ordering is much less significant. It was just the Sun Demon we cared about. Getting crit on the other side of the mist would be great. Nah, that's fine. It changes really nothing. Now we're gonna get it on another +0, so it's still fine. And I guess getting the crit on the elite is actually the best thing, probably. All right, so 4 damage here. And then on the elite, where we're gonna get an 8. Nice. Yeah, I think that actually worked out. That was beautiful. That was as well as it could possibly work out. Because we could, yeah, we got +1 on the thing we care most about. I mean, I guess, all right, theoretically we could have gotten a crit on this. That's actually technically the best possible thing, but I mean, that's not very realistic. This was still a very, very positive outcome. Because getting +1 here, and then the crit on the one of the 2 enemies that we cared most about, not getting the miss here, yeah, there were a lot of variables that went into that, and that was very good. Thank you. I appreciate you having my back, Barry. All right, and then we're done there. So then we just have the Cragheart. Yeah, we don't want to move next to them. So let's just use the generic move 2 on the bottom of Crater, going 1, 2. So we do have to tank some coals, huh? All right. God, these rocks we've created have turned against us. Yeah, I mean, we should just kill the 2 flame demons. Let's not be silly. It sucks to move on to the coals for sure, but... Alright, so we take a bit of damage there from walking onto these aforementioned coals. 3 damage, in fact. We have to use our boots as well. Just gonna use the healing potion now to not be silly, so that I don't forget it. Anything bad happens. So we use Crater moving to there. So we had to use the boots to get a little bit further. I don't think I want to go any more than that, because I don't want to have to walk back across the coals. Because I probably do want to kite the Earth Demons across the coals, as originally planned. Okay. So, hey, I have another question about monster AI. Corlard, I don't know if you're here. Maybe you know this. So the rules for dangerous or hazardous terrain like this, similar to traps and things like that, are that monsters treat them as obstacles unless there's no path that involves going over them that leads to getting the enemies. In a situation like this, does this mean that he'll actually walk here because he sees these as just things that he has to walk through now, or does he go like this? I know that this makes the most sense, but I'm wondering if the actual rules, if there is something in the rules that says walk into the lowest number possible, or if it just considers, well, this is the closest, shortest path, and I have to walk through these so it sees them all as the same. Goes like this, and then, through one more and then further. Does anyone know? I'm curious. Again, it shouldn't matter. I don't care so much. It's not a big issue here, but I'm, again, more of a curiosity issue, because this is another thing which hasn't gotten brought up before. All right, so we're going to use Massive Boulder, which creates an Earth. There's almost all the elements again. Which uses a charge of backup ammo, which gives us 1 experience. That is also what I recall, but I'm just wondering, because this is definitely not intuitive that he should walk through more trap. I mean, like, because all right, so let's say his focus is right here, which it is right now. So he has this path, or he has this path, right? So does he really consider that these 2 are the same, and then this would be like player choice in ambiguity, so players could choose to have him like go like this, or does he understand that this is worse than doing this and goes like this? Yeah, my question is, like, because now he sees all these as stuff he has to move through no matter what, because there's no way. Well, all right, technically, right now he doesn't. All right, let's assume the Cragheart ends up moving back to here, because like right now he actually will go like this, okay? But assuming the Cragheart's back here, which the Cragheart will he go like this or will he go like this? Because now he sees these. Before he saw these as obstacles, But now if there's no, I mean, like this, he sees them as obstacles, but if the Cragheart's here, he doesn't see these as obstacles anymore. So he sees them as something he has to walk through. Like at the very least, he has to walk through one of them. He knows this. So does he see them all as being the same? This is the question. I'm not actually sure because I've never actually had this come up before. Again, worst case scenario, I mean, for me here, I suppose worst case scenario, it's ambiguous. Like if it ends up being the case, so I'll still have him go like this, right? But I do wonder if this is actually ambiguous or not. Okay, so ECO has a quotation. Negative hexes are considered obstacles when determining the path unless there is no path except through negative hexes. The path can be 10 cent. All right. It says, but it's funny though that so it does say it'll move through as few negative hexes as possible. All right, so then that does clarify it. But it's funny because the last sentence of that part from the FAQ says basically monsters will move through as few negative hexes as possible. This doesn't. This is actually more referring to a general idea that they won't move through negative hexes unless they have to. But it's summarizing something that doesn't actually give an explanation of this sort of situation. You understand? But I mean, it's still that sentence isn't supposed to apply to this situation, but it does actually apply to this situation and can be interpreted literally to apply to this situation. If you understand what I'm saying here. Because what that last sentence is doing is it's actually a summary sentence explaining what the entire paragraph was about. It's not an additional sentence which is supposed to explain a situation like this. But again, a literal reading of that sentence does mean that it as few negative hexes as possible does mean one negative hex rather than two. All right. So we have Massive Boulder. We've already done most of the stuff. We don't need to use our Hamina Potion here. Guess we'll need to use it at some point, but not right now. We'll use our Piercing Bow. Yeah, we used our boots here. We use our Piercing Bow here. Do we want to use the Power Potion? So the attack is an attack 3. We're not actually going to get any splash damage on them, so -1s would be bad. How many -1s do we have left? We still have one -1. Yeah, let's just use the Power Potion. I think it's pretty safe. All right, so this will actually turn this into an attack 4. So we'll be hitting both of these Flame Demons with an attack 4 that ignores all shield, and then we'll be getting 2 splash damage on this Earth Demon no matter what. So we'll do 1 and then 2, I suppose. It's the same here for each of them. So, all right. Well, that's unfortunate. It's going to make him harder to kill. No doubt about that. So, yeah, that's that. And then we're done. Okay. Play these cards. Brute, short rest for sure. Yeah, that's fine. Just need to keep our big movement so that we can, or move jumps especially, so that we can go get the chest at some point here once we've wound down the fighting. We want to go as early as possible and use cold fire. Since we have the elements set up, we don't want to run the risk of them using our elements. Well, they still, no, I think when they go 4, they create fire, not use it. So what is the brute doing? So the Spellweaver is gonna cold fire these two. The Cragheart is gonna move back after doing like a heaving swing attack on this, I guess, which shouldn't actually kill it. So I guess it would be good if the brute can help him finish that off. We can use our, oh, we don't have our ranged attack anymore. We don't have either ranged attack. We just lost both of them. I can't re-roll though because I really have to keep the move. I guess I could lose a move 4 jump. I mean, I can lose one of these. All right, let's actually, so this was in my hand, right? Yeah. Let's re-roll then because I really actually want to, no, I guess, yeah, the problem is the Cragheart goes at 13 and we can't easily move. I guess the Spellweaver can move back instead of just using the heal with Mana Bolt. I guess that's fine. By moving back 1, she won't get the retaliate if she doesn't kill, so it's kind of the same as using the heal anyway. So she moves back, and then the brute can actually move up and do a melee attack, which allows things to be better. First paragraph on page 31. It specifies this? Okay, cool. Smallest number of negative hexes possible. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. This is just like a small sentence in the middle of the rules, so it's difficult to find it, I guess. Traditionally, I mean, like it's hard to remember in a 52-page rule book every sentence like that. But again, it is logical. It's just that there are so many things that are not necessarily always logical with the monster focus. So yeah, thank you very much, Lucio. Appreciate it. Okay, yeah, so all this looks good. So in that case, we can just do whatever attack we really want on him. I guess we can use Trample. Unstoppable Charge is the same as Trample if we attack something, I mean, like one of the Flame Demons, for example, but it's also better against the Earth Demons, so I think it's better to keep that option up. And I want to keep my move jumps, basically, because we got to go over a lot of hot coals. Yeah, there's no wind for us to use anyway. All right, let's go. So pretty standard stuff all around. Flame Demon's not actually really doing anything here, too. Well, our stun on them doesn't really matter then, huh? All right. So Spellweaver's first. So we're going to step back 1 with the bottom of Mana Bolt as a generic move 2. And then we're going to use the top of Cold Fire, consuming Ice and Fire, which gives us an attack 3, range 3, stun, triangle targeting. We're going to target like this. So we're going to hit Flame Demon 1 and the Elite Earth Demon. No items to use, so we'll do Flame Demon 1 first. Okay, and then the Earth Demon, sure. So this gives us 1 damage on you. That's good, because now we can kill with a Rock Slide. And then 3 damage on you. You, not quite with a Rock Slide. And then they're both stunned. Okay. And then next up is the Brute. So the Brute takes 1 damage from his wound. He's going to do a generic move 2 with the bottom of Provoking Roar, just to move up to here. And then we're going to use the top of Trample as an attack 3, Pierce 2, targeting the Sun Demon. Okay, so the Sun Demon's dead. Oops, I didn't want that. I was just trying to double check that I had his health correctly. Oh, we never got our battle goal. Whatever, we're not about battle goals. And then we're going to use our healing potion to heal 3. This removes the wound, which is nice. And yeah, I don't think I've got anything else. No. Okay. May have forgotten to use a charge of this at some point. I'm not sure. Oh well. Next up is the Cragheart. So this is rather interesting. We do not have really a good play here as we killed that. I mean, that's fine. So let's see. The Earth Team has +1 move, so 3. So he can't even make it down to here. Fortunately, we can only hit by going through all the coals, taking 6 damage. And then the Earth Team will also get to hit us. It's a lot of damage to do a little bit of damage. It's probably not worth it. Otherwise, we can use this as a generic move, moving to this coin, and then you can use the top of Unstable Upheaval as a loss. This just basically gives us an attack 3 here. This attack doesn't really do anything unless we get Lucky Flip, and then we're going to take basically the same amount of damage because we'll get retaliated. The positive here is that we pick up a coin. Picking up coins is valuable. There aren't that many enemies left, too. So it's not really that threatening. Otherwise, we could go here, and we would hit both Earth Demons, but then this Earth Demon will hit us, which is not ideal. We would take even more damage that way. All right, yeah, let's go here, I guess. Let's just go for it. Let's get some coins. So we'll move there, using the bottom of Heaving Swing. Oh, yeah, this does not count as a ranged attack, so we will not use a charge of backup ammo. All right, that's fine, because it's a melee attack now, interestingly enough. So we'll use the bottom of Heaving Swing as a generic move 2, moving on to those coals, which gives us 3 damage. Oops. And then we'll use the top of Unstable Upheaval. We will consume an Earth, which gives us 2 experience. This is lost. And we get an attack 3, targeting all enemies at range 2, within range 2. All right, we'll do Flame Demon and then Earth Demon. Oof. All right, well, that's okay. I mean, the Flame Demon dies to the Rock Slide anyway, so I guess I kind of rather it this way. So we take 3 Retaliate, down to 8. And we get 4 damage because we drew a +1, correct? Yes, 4 damage on this Earth Demon. All right, that's pretty good. Then the Earth Demon goes. This one loses stun. This one's focus is to move over here. 1, 2, 3, because that does put it closer. And the Flame Demon goes and is stunned. And the Sun Demon's eliminated. All right. So what's the plan here? Yes, the move, jump, and a skewer actually looks pretty good. Because we've got the 2 Earth Demons lined up for a skewer. Oops. Then you need to short rest. Just need to make sure we keep Rock Slide. Nice try. Alright, well, that's some nice XP generation gone, but Rock Slide is the key here. It's the guaranteed kill on the Flame Demon, which is pretty important. Okay. So, guaranteed kill on... Where's... Oh yeah, I just lost in Sable. I was like, why don't I have good initiative anymore? Oh yeah! Because I was dumb. Alright, so the Brute goes to here, skewers these 2. We drop rocks like here and here at the very least, which damages all these things. What's our best initiative left? I guess it's this. Yeah, we'd like to drop the rock before the Brute goes. Just 1 extra damage doesn't really matter much. Just probably moving with it, generic moving or something like that. And what is the spell we were doing? Well, playing the 2 cards that she has, I think that's fine as well. And we'll see what she does. Better initiative is better. Okay, let's go. Our goal is going to be to certainly get the chest and try to pick up the coins as well, even if these coins aren't as valuable as coins have been in the past. 3 initiative. Okay, okay. I see you. So who's earlier between these 2? The Cragheart is earlier. So attack -1, creating a fire. So attack 2 on the Cragheart. All right, 2 damage. Yeah. Cragheart's taking real damage here. So next up is the Spellweaver. So I kind of need to get to coins. We could theoretically kill all the enemies, but hey! How do you say it? How is this? I'm sure I know this. Is it Yeboseo? I know Seo is very common, but I'm not getting it. I can't correctly pronounce the beginning, unfortunately.
여보세요.
Yeboseo. Ah, I got it pretty close. Oh, not so close. Oh. All right. So what do we actually do here? We still got a ton of cards left. We need to walk through some coals. Maybe we get some free experience. I do really care about experience in the Flame or Spellweaver. It's just our attacks don't really do anything. We can't. I guess we can move to here and make an attack on him. That's got some value. We're never going to get the kills, though, but so be it. All right, we'll just do a move 2 at the bottom of Flame Strike. Take 3 damage from going through the coal. Man, these coals. This rock wall is actually hurting us more than it's hurt the enemies in the end. Oh, it's hello when you get a call. Ah, okay. Ah, stupid Google Translate, it let me down. Sorry. All right, consume fire, gain 1 XP. Use Frost Armor, make an attack 3 on Earth Demon number 4. Maybe we get a +1? Nice, all right, all right. There's still a chance, I guess. No, we're just going to kill it. We're not going to take the risks. So that dies. We do get a 3rd, but we'll never get 5. We would have gotten the experience too. God! Always the poor choice. All right, next up is the Cragheart. I mean, it's just a curse, right? Like Warlord said, it doesn't matter what we pick for the Spellweaver. She's never going to get a perk. Okay, so I guess we can move here and do one more direct damage. Not even really worth it. So we're gonna use the top of Rock Slide. We create a rock or earth. We gain 1 experience, and we're gonna place 3 rocks, which we have to do. So we're gonna place 1 here. Leave this path for sure. Put like some back here, just out of the way. Ah, come on now. Her goal was to kill 5 different enemies. We had the choice of 13 experience or 5 different enemies. We chose 5 different enemies because I thought 13 experience would be too risky. If we ended up short resting and losing fire orbs once, which happens to us every time when we don't take if we had taken that, we would end up short resting, losing fire orbs or something, and then we would never get the goal. Plus, this ended up being a bit easier than I expected, just because I guess +2, All right, 2 damage here. But I'm not gonna just waste so much time sitting around watching this flame demon trying to have her kill it time after time. And then we have the bottom of Rumbling Advance. We'll just move to here, grabbing this coin. Okay. Then next up is the Brute. So we're gonna do move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3. So even if we go to heat, so all right, we're gonna go to this coin. The reason being that even if we go 1 more, we still 1, 2, 3, 4 don't have enough. We always have to move more than this anyway. So we always have to do 2 turns or do a move 6. So it doesn't really change anything. So we might as well just go here, which allows us to grab the coin. And then we'll use Skewer's Top as an attack 3, targeting the Earth Demon. Yeah, there's no risk of killing it. So an attack 3 on the Earth Demon. +1. We have already reached his goal as well, actually. We gain the 6th there when we use, I think, this item. Because we used this twice. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're already at 7, actually, yeah. Okay, so what did we flip? Sorry, I'm getting distracted doing too many things at once. We got a +1 on Skewer, so 4 damage. Down to 5. Not threatening. And then it's the Earth Demon's turn. Attack +1. So normally 4, so attack 5 on the Brute. So 5. 1. Oops, not like that. Like this. 2. 3, 4, 5. All right. So I guess we want to go late, actually. The reason for this is we actually want to take another hit so we get another charge of warding strength for a little bit more experience. Oops. My bad. Thank you. Good catch. I guess I'm just sick of the Brute stealing all the coins. Although strategically it would actually be better to put it here. All right. So how much health does he have left? He has 5. So we actually can make an attack with Earthen Clod to give ourselves 1 experience. And then we'll move up and grab this coin. Ooh, we can actually not get the coin, and we can gain more experience by using Crater. I think this is fine, because we'll always get the coin anyway. The Spellweaver can get it with a move 4, which is exactly what she'll end up doing here. Just need to keep her big move. Yeah, that's fine. So we need to move 4. We want to go late. Well, I guess no, because he's not going to immobilize in the end. That doesn't really matter when he goes. And as for top, I guess we're just getting heal. Ourself or someone, doesn't really matter either. All right, let's do it. Just kind of garbage time here. I don't need to be. Well, I guess we've been careless in garbage time in the past, and that's cost us a bit. But oh, he's not even attacking. All right, so Cragheart's first. We're gonna consume the Earth, which gives us 2 experience, and do a move 4 jump with Crater. Brute takes 2 damage. This is only on attack. Yeah, attack targeting, exactly, because otherwise you can't get shield for this sort of thing. So the Brute takes 2. Oh no, 1, because I've been doing this wrong before, sorry. It's just 1 here, even with the Earth enhancement. And then we do a move 4 jump. 2, 3, 4. We don't have our boots, so we couldn't get to a coin this turn. Nope. And then we're going to use Earthen Claw to do an attack 2, range 5, targeting the Earth Demon. +1. We get 1 charge from this, which gives us 1 experience. So 3 damage to him, so he's down to 2. So we need to not kill him now. No more attacks. Well, I guess he's going to heal himself, right? So he's back up to 5. Just a glutton for punishment. He heals. There's no earth to consume, so he just heals. Back up to 5. All right. Then the Spellweaver goes and is going to do a move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to this coin. Oops. Not giving the Cragheart instead, and then we'll do a heal 3 on ourselves at the top of Elma's Blade. And the Brute goes. We're not going to attack because we don't want the scenario to end. We'll just do a move 3 jump. 1, 2, 3, which creates wind. And we end the round. Alright, well the Cragheart can make it to a coin. Brute needs to do a short rest. Sure, that doesn't really matter. So this gives us experience, and we have no top that really matters here. Better to save our bigger movement, I guess. We'll get rid of this. And then Spellweaver does not have... Spellweaver actually needs to do a short rest to get a move 4 back. 1 life, lose this. This way we can make it to one of the coins this turn. And we want to go as early as possible. There is an element for us to consume, so I guess we can use that to attack. It's pretty safe. We'll be making an attack 3 with disadvantage. So we can theoretically kill, right? If we draw +2 in crit, but together, but that's so very unlikely. And otherwise, we just get 1 experience by consuming this wind, which isn't getting used otherwise. And we do a little bit of damage to him, which isn't a bad idea. All right, so the Spellweaver goes first. We're going to use Frost Armor, consume the wind, gain 1 experience, 13 experience. Oh, it kills me. It's just part of the curse, though, right? So attack 3 with disadvantage on the Earth Demon. All right, putting him to 1. Well, that makes it easy for us to end the scenario when we need to, which is good. And then we'll do a move 4 with the bottom of Flashing Burst. 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the coin. Okay, and then the Cragheart is next. So here we're just doing, I guess, the move 4 with the bottom of Massive Boulder to this coin. And then the Earth Demon goes, makes a ranged attack. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the Brute, nice. There's no Earth to consume, so it's just attack 4, range 4 on the Brute. So -2. So we do get 1 charge of Warding Strength, which gives us 1 experience, and we take 1 damage. And then the Brute goes, and we're going to do a move 4 jump, so we gain 2 experience. And we're going to go to here. Oops, that doesn't move. We move. And what was in the chest? So the chest number was 11. Random item design. Oh, it begins again. Oh, are we about to get... Is this going to be... All right. So for all our misfortune in regards to random... I mean, to battle goals. So this should be lost. Are we going to be able to actually get a good random item design? That is our first random item. In our last campaign, for anyone who wasn't here for it, I think most of you were, but we had the worst possible luck when it came to... Can't make it. Just jump anyway. I guess we actually can, although we don't necessarily want to kill it. Well, whatever, let's put an end to this. We had the worst possible luck when it came to random item designs, never getting the stuff we really cared about. Yeah, it's fine. So hopefully this time, on a new leaf, we'll have more luck. Ooh, Crater should have been lost. We will see. We'll do it after. We're just gonna finish the scenario since we're so close anyway. This gives us an experience and lets us kill him. Although I guess the Brute wants to kill him because he actually gets 3 experience by doing this plus this. Yeah, and she's just picking up a coin. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Brute can actually get his coin, so it actually does make more sense for the Cragheart to kill him. So we need to kill him before the brute goes at 35. So we use this to kill him, plus it's like this. All right. So we'll be trading 2 experience on the brute for 1 experience on the Cragheart, but we'll also be giving the brute 1 more coin. This is easily worth it. All right. So first is the Cragheart. Gonna do a move 2. We'll leave this coin for the Spellweaver. Even though the Curse Tornado enhancement is really, really important for us, the Spellweaver has so many important enhancements. There are basically 3 core enhancements for the Spellweaver, which makes such a big deal, which is the any element on the bottom of Reviving Ether, the extra hex on Cold Fire, and the Strengthen on the bottom Mana Bolt. We want all 3 of these so badly that money is just more valuable to me on the Spellweaver than the Cragheart. Because the Cragheart just has that 1 enhancement, which is better than any of those 3, but we're almost certain to get to. I guess we should take a look at the actual cash situation to make sure that doesn't make a difference here. No, it doesn't right here. We're at 15, 18, so this would put us at 21, so 31. No, we're not there. All right, yeah, so it makes sense to let the Spellweaver keep that. So we'll just move to here and gain 1 experience by dropping some rocks with rock slide. We also create an earth, all this doesn't matter. I guess we could have short rested to get an experience for the Spellweaver, but meh. So be it. Sure, put like 1 there and then some over here. These don't really matter. What? I mean, I know Fire Orb is a fun card, so fair enough, teach their own, but... And this takes 1 damage and dies. Going there. I didn't miscount, nope. Okay, then the Spellweaver... No, sorry, then the Cragheart, or Brute goes. So the Brute gains 1 experience from the bottom of Skewer, doing a move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grabbing this coin. And then the Spellweaver just does a generic move 2, or I guess plays the bottom of Cold Fire for a loot 2 styling to pick this. Fair enough. The strength enhancement's a pretty obvious one. A lot of people love that one. I'd say it's maybe even a little bit overrated. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's easily top 3 enhancements, but I don't know. I consider the Reviving Ether and Cold Fire just more valuable. I guess it depends where you are in terms of levels. Reviving Ether is so good before you get to like level 6, 7, because you don't have another way to get the any element to make Cold Fire as good. Whereas I think just like, having AoE stuns is just more valuable than having the advantage attacks. On top of that, Mana Bolt a lot of times does end up needing to be used as a move or healing an ally, etc. But it is still a very good heal, or enhancement without a doubt. Alright, that's the scenario, so what do we get? Just an achievement, huh? Double checking, yeah. Nothing as satisfying as completing a... Well, this time it wasn't challenging, but an otherwise challenging... I mean, last time we got crushed. Challenging scenario to get absolutely nothing as a reward. Thank you, Purre. Yeah, this was... I mean, this is the problem of going down to only +2. We kind of just steamrolled through it pretty easily. Like I said, I think +3 was balanced for our ability to do it, but again, it just makes sense for us to always follow the same rule of every time we lose on a difficulty going down 1 difficulty, make sure we don't get stuck on scenarios. All right, C7 and K8, so 21 and 22. 21. 22. So C7 is just right up over here. It's not perfectly put, but whatever. Well, this bottom is messed up, but that's fine. And K8 over here. Missed the beginning and didn't read. We went down to +2. However, I still say great run. So doesn't even suck. Yeah, like I said, I know it's kind of the cowardly way, but again, the rule which we applied when the stance we've taken in terms of all this is to try a higher difficulty, but if we fail the scenario, decrease the difficulty by 1. This way, we don't have to spend too much time with the campaign sitting on the same scenarios, so people do still get to see some variety, but at the same time, we still push difficulty. So even though, like I said, after the last loss, it wasn't like after some when I try on +3, I feel that I couldn't possibly win, but here I definitely felt like I could have won after I lost the last time on +3, but I didn't want to take the risk of losing again and just being on the same scenario forever. I probably shouldn't delete all these demons because we're going to need some more of them soon enough. All right. So we need to also check mark that we've completed number 10. did complete number 5 as well. Yeah, we couldn't be on 10 if we hadn't completed 5. Man, I'm really bad at making sure that I get these check marks on. All right, there we go. Okay, so time to get our random item design. Let's do that first. Here we go. All right, I'm going to switch the screen just for a second so that I don't spoil the random item design. Then I'll tell people the number, and then people who don't want to get spoiled will know. I'll answer that question in a second, ECL. Let me do this first. All right, so I'm spinning, and here we go. All right. Well, this is like maybe the worst over all of these, but it is still one of these, so it's a much better start than last time. Let's put it that way. I'm pretty happy with this. All right, so the item we gained was item number 84, which we're just going to put up here. So here you can see. I just keep these face down because there's no need to spoil random item designs unless I'm going to use them. This one I will not be using. I'm sorry. I wish I spoke Korean, but sadly I do not. All right, so after all the games you play, what do you consider to be the most frustrating enemy type? Easily, forest imps, 100%. I mean, summoning in general I consider to be frustrating, but I don't consider any one summoning enemy to be as consistently frustrating as forest imps. Forest imps for me is easily the number one. 4 range, 4 movement, flying, always the curses, 2 of the scary imp flimps with the 2 target, either curse, so double curse or poison. I don't consider that there's anything as frustrating as facing forest imps. Forest imps, black imps, and oozes I think are my top 3. Followed by flame demons as certainly a 4th. Flame demons and oozes can really flip back and forth as well, and depending on the party, I guess. And then 5th is further away. After that, I think those are easily my top 4. Like, those are well above anything else. Like elite wind demons and 2-player, I think are pretty stupid. I think it's like kind of an unfun design to have done that, but overall, I don't find there to be that many things that are as annoying as those top 4. I've talked about this a fair amount before, but I can mention it again since the questions was brought up. But so I think that imps are so if any of you have ever looked into creating custom content for Gloomhaven, which I think is definitely something I would recommend anyone who's interested in Gloomhaven and pretty far, I mean, has completed their campaign or whatever, to do, because Isaac has provided a ton of useful resources for this. One of the resources he provides is actually a guide for pointing of monsters. Basically, there's this point system that Isaac uses that helps him gives him a guideline for how to set up. How to set up rooms and scenarios, like how many monsters there should be of different types. Okay, so we never one-shot anything. That's annoying. So each monster has a certain number, like a point value that monster has assigned to it. So, for example, like an earth demon is worth like 2 points, we'll say, whereas a giant viper is worth like 1 point. So if you have a room, you're supposed to have 12 points per room, 36 points per scenario, stuff like this. So in any specific room, you have a certain number of enemies, and this is determined by how many points the enemies are worth. So you would have twice as many giant vipers theoretically. Now this is more of a guideline, like I said, but still, you'd have around twice as many giant vipers as you would have earth demons, for example, in the same room based on the point system. All right. So the issue I take with this system, is I think that some things are just poorly attributed in terms of points. And I think the best example of this are the imps. Forest imps and black imps cost 1 point to place, okay? So I'm not going to necessarily even try to compare them to higher point things because this gets murkier. But for example, so a forest imp or a black imp is 1 point, but a giant viper or a vermling scout is also 1 point, okay? So easily, I would rather, in any scenario in the game, any number of vermling scouts compared to the equal number, or giant vipers compared to an equal number of forest imps or black imps. The fact that some of these are ranged and some of these are melee does not make these enemies equally difficult, right? So, in my opinion, basically, forest imps and black imps are the most annoying enemies in the game because they're just undervalued in terms of how difficult Isaac considers them to be for completing a room. Because I think I suppose in his point system, they're not. I mean, he doesn't appropriately value being ranged and having a long range. I suppose is the biggest thing. So anyway, yeah, that is why I consider those two to be the worst enemies in the game. All right, what do we have here? 12 experience plus our base experience here is 10, so 22 experience. Ooh, solid 99. And then we've got 9 gold, pushing up to 70. Okay, and so here we've got 18 gold. Cruising along towards that Cursnado. And 13 experience, so 25. Right, no, it was 10, no, not 12 anymore. 13, so 23. 292. All right. And then here, 15, 18 gold as well. And experience, 23. Ooh, we made it. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Just barely got it. Right. So we gained a level. Clear this. Bring all this over here. Bring this down here. All right. Reset that. So 210. Check mark this. So first we'll get our perk. Again, we continue to take the ice first because we will be able to create fire. So we add another +2 ice. We actually get to start creating fire now. And level 5 we take Engulf. I don't consider this to be very close. I know some people seem to feel otherwise. I can't wait for the fourth party member to get back from his cruise. 2 of us retired in his absence, and wow, our party lineup is different now. Went from Scoundrel, Brute, Mighty Spellweaver to Lightning Bolt, Cthulhu, Mighty Spellweaver. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that is a lot different. That new party seems like it would be very fun, too. The damage output is insane. And there are some nice things to go with it as well. Yeah, it is quite different. All right, so basically, some people think you should take this at level 5. I don't agree with this at all. Their argument is, well, Engulf is just an attack 4 range 3. Well, honestly, for the Spellweaver, an attack 4 range 3 is good. Like, this is a nice action. This is your best consistent non-loss action when you can't do Cold Fire, so at least until you get to level 6. This kind of works a little... The advantage of taking this is then at level 6 you can take Living Torch right away, and you still have kind of the Cold Fire setup, being able to use this for this or Cold Fire, but really you just want to use Cold Fire all the time anyway, so it really doesn't change too much. I think it's still better to take Engulf. Just because, again, either one of these works, but Engulf is just a better action than the move 2, which creates an element, which is why I think this is the choice here. So we will take Engulf at 5. Alright, so what he stays in? This does, this does, this does, this does, this does. So it's one of these two that comes out now, and it really should be Frost Armor at this point. It's painful now that we don't have Mana Bolt. I mean, since we didn't take Fork Bolt, we don't have that 20 initiative. So do we need Frost Armor over Flame Strike? At the same time, Flame Strike gives us something else to do with the fire if we do lose Cold Fire to a short rest. So I still think this is just more valuable. I'm not sure. It's tough. It's always one of those two that should go out. I'm not sure which one's actually better. The 20 initiative is nice because it allows us to consume enemy elements more early. I guess, actually, in truth. So we're about to do some more scenarios with demons, so we're actually going to take Frost Armor. Frost Armor against demons is just more valuable. If we end up facing less demons, I mean, once we get away from the demons is what I mean to say, then we'll consider going back to Flame Strike. But relying on getting the fire around for 2 turns is difficult, and just being able to take their elements is also quite valuable. And being able to go earlier while doing it is pretty nice. Okay, we can delete this. So we need to do a city event. So we're gonna do that real quick. Okay. So gold. Reputation is 8. Perfect. All right. Nice. I didn't actually remember this. But all right, let's keep it going. So we actually got. Oh yes, the recording. Cool. I'll do the recording in a second. I'll cut it in a second. But thank you, Isio. So we have to pay 5 collective gold. Both of them people. Both the Cragheart and the Spellweaver care a lot more about their enhancements at this point than the Brood, who already has 1 enhancement. So we'll pay the 5 collective gold from him, and we get another random item design. I'm going to just change the screen for a second again. Shuffling, drawing. Really interesting. I think that's pretty garbage. But is it? I've never actually. I think that's the first time I've ever gotten that. I mean, I obviously understood its existence, but I think that's actually the first time I've ever gotten it. All right. So we ended up getting random item design number 78. So we've got that unlocked now as well, which is interesting for sure. It's funny because yeah, I mean, it's so random that with the thing that we previously unlocked, but huh. Yeah, I'm still not really sure that that's where we want to. I mean, I don't think it actually changes really anything. I think it's pretty bad. All right. So we've done our city event. We've done that. We'll have to go to the next scenario now. Yeah, I'll cut the recording. I'm actually just going to, I have to go to the bathroom and just go pee and refill my water, etc. All right. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes real quick. See you in a few as well, Perry. Good luck with your meeting. But yeah, so, oh wait, do we haven't? No, we still don't have enough. So just be right back. I'll cut the recording now and then I'll resume the recording when I get back. So be right back in just 2 minutes. There we go.